I had this whole thing planned.
Mhm.
I had this intro I wanted to do. But then Angel didn't show up, even though I messaged him earlier. And he said, "Yeah, I'll be on." We talked about it a bit. He even gave me some ideas, and he's not here. Uh so yay. Welcome to the first episode of the Underscore Silent podcast. I named it. I made an actual name, and we're going to stick with it. I hope no one has any complaints, and if anyone does, feel free to DM me. I will not talk about it. I will not respond.
The underscore is silent.
The underscore is silent. I didn't want to call it the Guile Pal podcast, and I looked up Shycast and was like, okay, there are a couple of things called Shycast.
Makes sense.
There are a couple of things already called Shycast. Like, welcome to Shycast, the leading contest platform. Shycast contest platform offers proven reliability and advanced features for professional marketers. Yeah, that's definitely something I don't want to be associated with.
And Guile Pile sounds like an orgy.
Yeah, it sounds like an orgy. Exactly. So we're sticking with the underscore is silent. I'm sure some people will appreciate that, specifically Pasta. Who is not here at the moment.
It's kind of classy.
Yeah, right? Like I'm kind of digging it. I did the research, I looked it up. No one really is doing anything with a name like that. Yeah, Angel told me that he got Yakuza thanks to you also. So I wouldn't, but he would still respond to my DMs if he was playing Yakuza. Let's be honest. But I'm gonna try to. So since Angel isn't here, I'm gonna try to redo at the last second what I was planning on talking about right in the beginning. But hi, hello, wonderful day. First episode of the I already forgot the name of my own podcast. Holy crap.
The underscore is silent.
The underscore is silent podcast. My name is Shy Guile, and joining me today will be good friend of the stream, Tronop04. Would you like to introduce yourself, buddy?
Well, I'm Tronop, and I'm here a lot. And when I'm not here. Probably because I'm asleep.
Yeah, which he does a lot of as well.
I also sometimes don't sleep at all.
Yeah, which we tell him is a problem. What the fuck is this? Well, Santos, and you know what, Jin, why not? I can boot it up to see. The problem is I'm waiting for Angel. He's the third spot for today, and I'm only allowing one more spot if anyone else wants to hop in. But before we get into that, I just want to say I announced this podcast 2 days ago. 2 days ago was, or 2 or 3 days ago. That was like October 9 or 10. Maybe it was October 8, right? And today, maybe.
We could check.
We could check, but today is October 11th, Tuesday. And I would just like to formally tell the internet, my message to the internet being, you're very welcome, because I'd like to think that the planning of this podcast helped bring back Blink 182.
The sole thing that revived it.
If it weren't for me announcing this podcast on this particular day, we might not have gotten that Blink 182 reunion. They are definitely coming. And yeah, I'm so excited. I just gotta say, I am so excited for Blink 182 coming back. Hopefully those tickets will be reasonably priced, and I'm looking forward to their new song on Friday. How you doing, Santos? How you doing, Pasta? We're not doing Guilecast. That's not the name we're going for. This is the underscore is silent podcast. You'll join next time. Yeah. Yeah, it's very classy. Unlike whatever normally happens around here.
unlike how we normally act.
Yeah. I know. Exactly. But yeah, if anyone's interested in joining, I'm saving one spot for Angel, so give us a moment. If ever, just let me know. Today we're gonna be talking about video game sequels. But before, see, here's the thing. This is what ruins the flow. Is that I wanted to ask you and Angel to introduce yourselves and tell a little bit about yourself. I mean, you told everyone that you were sleeping, but do you have like a specialty in gaming? Do you have what is your experience in gaming? Why should people listen to you talk about anything that has to do with video games?
I know a lot about JRPGs.
You really do. I honestly wanted to ask you a question about one, but I'm gonna save it for a little bit later, because I recently downloaded one that's on Game Pass. Game Pass.
And if there's a free-to-play gotcha out there, I've probably tried it once.
Probably. Did you try Tower Fantasy? I forget.
Yes, I did, in fact.
How long did that last you?
I played it for one day, and I got, the same S rank, 3 times.
So that's good then, right? Or is that just one of those launch day bonuses? They're just like, we want people to feel like they're earning something, but then later on we're just going to nerf everything.
But I later learned that they had, a thing going where, you get an S rank in your first 30 fulls.
Oh, jeez.
That's actually pretty cool of them.
That is pretty cool.
My issue was just, the combat felt a little, I don't want to say floaty, but it didn't feel responsive enough for what I was doing.
So you would say just attacking, you'd say, is a bit just not satisfying at all?
Yeah. I didn't really do the in-game content, to be fair. I fought one of, the world bosses once by accident. Because I was there when it was being attacked by a large group of people.
That sounds unfortunate. Why do I still have...
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. Okay. Well,
it was very chill. But, I remember an issue was coming up with, since it's very MMO-y, so I kept encountering, things you could normally can interact with that had markers on them for me to interact with, but they were already done. But I couldn't collect the thing because someone else must have done it a while ago, and I wasn't there when it happened. But in this world, it was completed, but the thing didn't spawn because I wasn't around.
That sounds so annoying. So what, do you have to just wait? Did you completely miss out your chance on that, or is there a way for you to just restart the quest and do it yourself and get?
It wasn't a quest thing. It was just ambient things around the world. It was specifically one type of thing or 2 types of things too. Jeez. It was lava things that you had to hit with ice element to freeze. Those were all already completed, and I could never do one of them to get the pull loot. And then there was I don't remember. There was also co-op things that you had to do with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them you could just cheese by yourself because of latency.
Okay, sure.
So you just did both parts by yourself? Sure. Just because the game was very slow.
Oh, God. Oh, right. Well, moving on from that. So that's Trono. Gotcha games and JRPGs. He's our guy. But yeah, no. Today we're talking about sequels, and Fabled went ahead and said that his most disappointing sequels for him would be World of Warcraft. I can definitely see that, because you guys have a lot of expansions. I guess we can count those as sequels, right? Because they're just extended stories and stuff.
Makes sense.
But I wanted to ask, what do you think is what would you say, give one sequel that you enjoyed, and then give one that you would say you didn't enjoy. I can go ahead and give mine. I thought of this earlier. So one sequel I enjoyed was Modern Warfare 2 in 2009, and one that I didn't enjoy was BioShock 2.
Bioshock
Yeah.
2 was the only one that I played. I never played
That's
one.
that's such a weird place to start or to even introduce yourself. 'Cause you miss
I
out
did
on.
Infinite after, but 2 was the only one that I played for a very long time.
Okay, well, Infinite you can kind of do without one or two, at least until you get to the DLC and stuff. In which case, it all ties together with the DLC.
I've never beaten one.
One
Still.
is still the one I'd say is the best one. Like it might not be the best in terms of combat, but I still think overall, like, better story, better atmosphere, stuff like that.
I think I actually have the Bioshock collection on the Epic Launcher. It was free once.
I actually got it off Humble Bundle. There was a 2K Humble Bundle for like $20 or less, which came with all the Bioshock games, Borderlands 3 with all the DLC. And it came with a bunch of XCOM games. Like even the old XCOM games. I did not realize how many XCOM games there were. There are a lot.
Yeah, it was XCOM Enemy Unknown where it got popular, I think.
It was, yes, because that's when I first heard of XCOM in the first place. Because before that, I did not know anything about XCOM. But that game was on the bundle too, and if I ever feel like playing it on the Steam Deck, I can very much do that.
Stubs.
Yeah. So yeah, those are mine. I can go ahead into detail about those, but I figured, did you already figure out what games you wanted to bring to the table for your best sequel and your worst sequel?
Man, that's really hard. For the worst, can we count a reboot of a series instead of a sequel?
Is it DMC?
It's Thief.
Oh,
it's the only game I vehemently hate.
The reboot?
Yes.
What's wrong with
it? Is a bad game.
Okay, so for reference, Thief is a what's the word I'm looking for?
Stealth first person.
It's a
adventure.
There's a word for it. Like Dishonored. Like Dishonored. There's a word for it. Shoot.
I can only think of first person action.
It's immersive sim. It's an immersive sim. Right? A la Dishonored,
Deus Ex and that, yeah.
Yeah, Deus Ex.
I feel like it's definitely more watered down than that. Immersive sims have kind of like died out since the Deus Ex and System Shock.
Prey is actually an immersive sim.
One, I think.
Yeah, I want to try that out. The reboot. Funny enough, the reboot.
Yeah, I got the secret ending. Yeah.
Prey?
I got the early and Prey. Thief, I beat the entire game on Xbox One.
The original Thief or the reboot? The reboot.
This
because it's yeah, okay.
I vehemently hate this game.
Why is that? What did they end up changing?
See, I never played the old ones. I just hate this game and have seen the old game and seen how good it is in terms of everything. In this one, it had a lot of modern, like... It felt like it had a lot of stank put on it for no reason.
Was it an Ubisoffication? A Ubisoffication of the formula that you were aware of prior to this reboot? Or something completely different? Because I can understand, like, oh, this game feels like it's been touched by Ubisoft, you know? Pasta, I do respond to chat. We're not called the Galcast. We're called the Under. I thought you'd appreciate the name. I thought you'd appreciate of the name that I gave this podcast. I will blink twice anyway. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Shona.
So some of the issues I had with it were, everything. It was so annoying. I'm trying to remember specific things. Like going stealthy was. This also might be because I was playing on like Master, I think.
Uh-huh.
But going stealthy felt weird, and combat was definitely never an option on that difficulty. But it's just there were so many like small things that bothered me. Like there were upgrades you could get, but they were specifically things like increased pick locking speed. So if I was good at that, I didn't really need that. And there was like a button to like toggle this vision thing, and that consumed a resource. But if you're at the 0, you can just press it and it toggles it for like a second and like highlights everything anyway. So that resource was useless. The upgrades that required that resource were useless. There were a lot of collectibles that did nothing, even though it's a thief game, so you'd assume they would be like, hey, you can get money from this. There was also a section where you had to, instead of stealthily being in the dark, there were like zombies or something that attack you unless you're in the light. I don't know what
that was about.
It felt so. It was one entire chapter. And fun fact, that chapter is where main game progress on the Xbox One achievements goes to rare achievements.
Oh, it just straight up gives them to you.
It's a rare achievement on that chapter on.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's a great way to get your gamer score up if you still care about that, I suppose.
I mean, I don't even know if rare achievements mean anything other than just
you get more points. You get the rep. The
I liked the final boss. I'll give it that. The one good thing about the game was the final boss. I did not like this Pint Ultimate boss, which was, hey, you're 1v1 this dude in a room. If you're going stealthy, fuck you.
So I'm looking at the reviews, right? I've got one here posted on October 4th, 5.1 hours. Apparently this person got it off a Humble Bundle. So it was one of those, I bought it during Humble Bundle, I'll play it eventually. So they played it. I'm guessing Aaron is your main character? Is that the name of your main character?
No, I don't think the main character's name is Aaron. I think it's like Garnt or Garrett.
Oh, okay. Garrett. Yeah. So people are talking about how the character of Garrett is just not great compared to how he used to be, kind of thing. A lot of people say
he was basically a non-entity in this game.
Okay. You the character, were a non-entity.
Yeah, Garrett felt like a non-entity, basically. He had cutscenes, but it was just him going, no! Or, no! But in a different situation.
Character with like different intonations, different tone.
Basically.
Just no. A lot of not recommendeds coming out of this one. There are some good ones, but no, yeah. Mixed reviews on Steam
the
right
issue
now.
is, Dishonored's just a better game than this.
Yeah.
It felt like they tried to make it into Dishonored, and it just did not work.
Yeah. Yeah, Dishonored
it had cool things. It had water arrows, but those are in the old games, and they actually did stuff.
Well, there you go. Like, if you want to play a game like this, play Dishonored or play the old Thief games. When BioShock 2 for me was just... I already explored Rapture, and there's only so much you can do to make me enjoy Rapture again. And given that the story isn't bad, and the characters are definitely still fun, it's just not as enticing as the first game was for me. I just could not get into it. I could not, because there was a whole mystery behind being the main protagonist name in BioShock 1, wherein in BioShock 2 you're a big daddy, which you kind of already get an idea behind. And you're just not as afraid as you are in the first game, because you're a big daddy. What are you really afraid of? You know, you're this big, powerful dude, and it makes sense that the gameplay is more refined than that, because, you know, you're a big daddy. You're more comfortable with the plasmids and your rivet gun and whatever else you have.
The drill.
The drill, of course.
I specifically remember going, hey, while you're holding the drill, it freezes people.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, jeez. But yeah, in terms of sequels that I've played, that's probably one of the ones that I've just never gone back to because I picked it up, but I just couldn't go through with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Infinite was good because it was a completely different setting, so it was a new place to explore. So yeah, I don't have much to say about BioShock 2 than that. It's a good game. It's just not a sequel I would have wanted. You
Mm-hmm.
know. Okay, what about your favorite sequel? What do you have for that? Do you have anything yet?
After going through some games that I remember doing,
Okay.
Portal 2 is like, I feel like the best example of how a sequel should be.
It's a great sequel, that's for sure. Like from everything from that's one I can definitely talk on.
Mm-hmm.
From the addition of amazing co-op, more refined puzzles, more lore.
Mm-hmm.
It gets more twisted in the end. I don't know if you have anything else to say about Portal 2 as to why it's such a great example of a good sequel for you.
It built upon what was there, and it didn't try and like erase anything. It didn't try to like change the game too much. It added to the game, but didn't change the game
Yeah,
like
that's
how some sequels are.
yeah, and that's kind of funny because Street Fighter 6, which the beta just happened over the weekend, um, is a great example of what's looking to be a great sequel to the Street Fighter series moving forward. Because when you went from Street Fighter 4 to 5, did you play 4? Out of
I played
curiosity.
it literally once.
Okay. Did you play 5? You
Yes, I've played 5 with you on occasion too.
on occasion, right?
Yeah.
Going from 4 to 5, so many things were let go of. Like so many moves were just taken out,
Mm-hmm.
omitted, things like that, and just features and flexibility. But when you look at Street
Roster
Fighter's,
2, right?
what was
Wasn't like the roster halved
uh,
like even now?
um the roster is significantly less, but not by much anymore. Not by much
Mm.
anymore. Uh, but what really killed it gameplay wise for a lot of people. Jin says that best sequel for him would be Sly Cooper 2. I've never played a Sly Cooper game. I really
Mm.
do want to though. I'll probably do that. I mean, I have all these handhelds to put.
Mhm.
I have these two handhelds I can put stuff into, so I might as well emulate them. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, basically Street Fighter 6. Everyone's got most, if not all, their previous moves in. That's what it seems to be looking like, and it's just adding more modes, building on like quality of life things that they already had that they added in Street Fighter 5 later down the line, like for training mode. I don't know if you looked at that training mode. I mean, you saw the options for audio, right? Like the
Yeah.
accessibility options. Like they're just adding things, and I can't think of a single thing that I will miss from Street Fighter 5 or even from Street Fighter 4, because even the roster, even though we haven't seen everyone,
Mhm.
it looks like a really great roster, and um, yeah, no, like good. It's definitely looking like a good sequel, unlike a certain other game we'll get to in a sec. But have you? So Portal 2 is your game, right?
Yeah.
For like uh yeah, favorite sequel or one of.
There's also Dead Rising 2 if we want to go into that.
We'll stick to Portal 2 for now. I was hoping, if it's Dead Rising 2, I definitely would have wanted Angel to be here, but no, I guess he just knocked out. I can't wait to hear that story. Next time on the podcast, Angel explains why he missed the first episode of the podcast he was supposed to be on.
Yeah, I slept. I fell asleep playing Yakuza.
Literally the first person I asked, no offense. It was just there
Understandable.
was no, like, he was the first name on my friends list that I wanted to message about it. Like, it was right there. So I was like, Okay. Um. What else can I? What can I say about Modern Warfare 2? Like, Modern Warfare 1 was great. The funny thing is, I wasn't even really that big into Call of Duty at the time. Still, like, I was just kind of like, oh, this is the new Call of Duty. Cool.
Mhm.
I take it. I go in and I play the campaign. I fall in love with it. And then I play the multiplayer with my brothers. I see that, the create a class system is better. They add more perks, more maps. It was just a really solid sequel. They Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 set the groundwork, but Modern Warfare 2 definitely added a whole nother level, especially with kill streaks, the Spec Ops mode. It was an amazing sequel, and the only other Call of Duty game I think that could match up to that game in terms of being a sequel would be Black Ops 2, but you know, Modern Warfare 2 was first.
Fair.
Yeah. Modern Warfare 2 was first. I get, what, now that I think about it, maybe I should have picked Black Ops 2. But whatever. We'll leave it at Modern Warfare 2. And on a related note, considering Activision Blizzard and Modern Warfare 2 is a game that's coming out. The rebooted Modern Warfare 2 is coming out at the end of this month. They recently announced that that game will also require Overwatch 2's phone number registration thing.
Oh boy, sure glad I'm probably not gonna do that.
No, Jim, we'll give it some time, and if not, me and Sean up will do this first one, and then we'll get you on the next one, okay? Because I don't. If I add someone else to the flow as of this moment, I'm going to lose track of everything. I'm already losing track of everything as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Great first episode, everyone. Thank you for being here. But yeah, Jesus, like, so I don't. It looks like they did say that Overwatch was removing that, right? Like
Apparently, that is specifically for people who have already owned Overwatch.
Oh, so not for new people.
Yep.
Not for new people. Okay, that's.
I can understand it just from a anti-cheater point of view, but it's still annoying to give your phone number to anything.
Dude, every time I go to the mall and I see those win this car, just fill up this form with your information. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, have you ever done any of those? Have you seen them?
No. I have seen them, but I know not to do them.
Geez, I'm not trying to sell my information like that. I mean, obviously, we live in this world where literally anything you sign up for, they'll probably sell your information. But yeah, no, Jin, agreed. Like, phone verification. Like Chonup said, I get it. I do. But it just keeps so many people. Someone mentioned it's very, not bourgeoisie, but it's very privileged because not everyone can afford a phone plan.
Yeah, and then the thing that they had with the fucking prepaid phone plans that just, oh no, you can't do this. Fuck you.
Yeah, no, fuck you. Says Activision.
It's like, what the hell? They wanted to play the game, and you just literally said no, just because they have a prepaid phone plan instead.
It's ridiculous, and it's not like they're paying for the phone plan. So, like if Activision was like, here's a free postpaid phone plan, just sign up, maybe give your social or some shit. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. But I'm just thinking of ways. I'm just trying to think of ways that other ways they could have done this.
Give us your phone numbers so that we can sell it to these companies to call you.
That's exactly what they're gonna do.
To be fair, I feel like the phone company does that themselves because even if I don't sign up for anything with a new phone number, it would still get called by spam callers.
Oh God!
So either they fucking just guess random phone numbers sometimes.
Oh man. Jin, I definitely see that happening eventually. Like one day you're gonna get phone call from Tracer. And it's gonna be like, hello, love. It seems that you haven't been playing your Overwatch 2 lately. We're ready for you. What are things that Tracer says? Got want to watch the Overwatch Championship? It's uh,
Trace this.
trace this phone
That's
number. Trace this phone number. Yeah, yeah. Um, damn. First episode, I'm already gonna get canceled for that horrible accent. But yeah, and do you, do you think? Because this is a thought I had earlier, while I was at work and thinking about these two games in particular. Do you think that by maybe around the year 2 mark of these two games being out, I know Street Fighter 6 isn't out yet, but let's say 2 years after Street Fighter 6 is out, and let's say 3 years after Overwatch 2 is out, do you think? Well, few questions. First, do you think Street Fighter 6 will overtake Street Fighter 5 in like
probably really quickly, yeah.
really quickly, right? Like the increase of player count, increase of like viewer size and public reception, you would say is 100% going to be better, right? Like
it having a character creator is actually going to be a sell for people.
oh yeah, no, you're right. Like a bunch of people are just going to buy that game just to make their weird OCs and then just have them walk around the hub area or whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
And we still haven't even really seen the full extent of the story mode or the single player mode. So who knows what that could lead to. So
I know some people who would just play fighting games for the story, so
yeah,
that may be good for them.
So what do you think? Like just a rough estimate. Would you say maybe 2 times more people compared to Street Fighter 5, 3 times by like
Probably.
the end of the year or 1 year or 2 years after its release?
I feel like after a year, it'll probably have 2 times more people than Street Fighter 5.
Okay, so
Didn't Street Fighter 5 have a thing where it lost retention too, like near the beginning? Like it didn't get good till like 2 years in or something?
yeah, but even then it was too late. Like the
Yeah,
public
after a year, they had already lost like half their people.
yeah, it really wasn't great. That was easily one of the worst launches and another good example of a really poor sequel to Street Fighter 4, which was an amazing game even at launch. Sure, it was busted, but
Was that before or after they started nerfing fight money constantly?
that was before. Well, I think they started doing that around the first year, but it wasn't as bad. It just kept getting worse and worse.
I don't know why. There are more characters you could unlock, the less fight money you could earn.
Yep. It's they really wanted you to spend that money. So 2 times as many people. Do you think a year after Overwatch 2 is out, do you think there'll be twice as many people playing that as there were playing Overwatch 1? Like
I feel like the Activision Blizzard like dirty laundry being aired and all that has affected the numbers more than like the actual game has. I've actually heard people talk about the gameplay of it and how it going from 6 to 5 actually has benefited the game. It cutting out a single tank has apparently made the game flow a lot better, has allowed every individual person to feel more important. Specifically Moist Critical. I heard him talk about his thoughts on the game and how it felt that way. I've also seen people just apparently there was a bug on the Xbox because I was watching a video of someone else playing it.
Okay.
Whenever you got an achievement, it would kick you out of the game, and you'd have to redo the entire queue.
What?
Yes. And sometimes that bug was... And sometimes an achievement was, hey, play a game with friends. And then you just join a game with your friend, and then it just kicks you out.
Overwatch 2 for Xbox has the wildest game-breaking bug. Overwatch 2 players on Xbox are getting disconnected from the game. Here's what's happening. If you've been playing Overwatch 2 on Xbox, you probably received a message telling you that you were disconnected, yada, yada, yada. What? Yeah, it says, because you unlocked an achievement for playing with friends.
It sounds so fucking dumb, right? This doesn't sound like something that should happen with a AAA game. And then you have to wait like 20 hours. You have to wait like an hour or like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
30 minutes to an hour for the queue.
yeah, because the servers are still getting bombarded by people wanting to play the game. That's crazy. Hey,
I've actually heard people say that that was just Blizzard lying and that they it's their fault that these
yeah,
server issues are happening.
that
And it
is
just goes
go ahead.
it just goes no, we're being DDoSed, you see.
Yeah, no, that is some
Like
conspiracy theory
casually
shit.
brings that up.
That is some conspiracy theory shit, but I also heard that and I thought about it and I was like, this is not beyond something that they would do. They would.
And then a day later they went, we're being DDoSed again.
Yeah, like guys,
And it
because
just goes
the Activision Blizzard employee just in the server room being like, we can't put the fire out. We need to tell them we're being DDoSed again.
It feels like a weird. It could be true. It could also be not true. Like they could be being DDoSed, or they could just be lying.
Hey, would you say
And
that?
there's literally no way to tell.
Would you say that DDoS 2 is a better sequel? Is a good sequel to DDoS 1?
Yes, excellent. It's funny because apparently that Xbox achievement thing was happening. Has been happening the entire time. They've never fixed it.
What the hell?
Like the video that I was watching, the dude played it, and then he played it 6 days later, and he got another achievement, and it kicked him out again.
Oh God, how you doing, Mugen? We're just talking about sequels and stuff. Specifically, we're on Overwatch 2 right now. We talked about how great Street Fighter 6 is, and now we're talking about Overwatch 2 being a huge, quite the shit fest. But
I mean, I've heard the gameplay is good.
good.
I've heard that the gameplay itself is solid, that all the characters feel nice. Apparently, they removed all hard CC, which was not all, but most hard CCs. So it made it go from a game where you get stunned for like a solid 10 seconds by multiple CCs timed perfectly to a game where you get stunned maybe once in a blue moon.
Okay. Now, yeah, the gameplay is solid, but the server's having a stroke. I can't say anything about the gameplay, but I do hear people saying that, and I acknowledge that, and that's great, you know. And I believe it. I believe that removing the second tank the ability to have a second tank would change the game for the better. But what is your answer to the question? Compared to Street Fighter 6, which you say could in 1 year have twice as many people playing it as there were playing Street Fighter 5 1 year after its launch, do you think Overwatch 2 after 1 year will have more? Will it have less people than Overwatch 1 after year 1?
It's hard to tell because it depends on what Activision Blizzard does. It depends solely on what that company is willing to do to get people to not hate it just because of its name anymore, and what they're willing to do to ease fans in.
So are you talking?
I don't think the game itself can hold up to all the backlash from the Activision Blizzard stuff, or the backlash from how they're handling the in-game stuff, like the Battle Pass, or how they're handling old players.
See,
and apparently the servers are just dead.
Yeah. See, Mugen, the question isn't whether or not it's going to succeed. I'm sure it will too. I definitely have no doubt in the community to make sure that game succeeds. But the question is, in about a year's worth time, I basically what I wanted to do was compare what we think. Like, do we think that the increase from players of Street Fighter 5 to 6 after 1 year will increase more? Like, will the rate of expansion of players and reception be like bigger than the rate of players moving from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 in 1 year? Will it be equivalent? Will it be less? Because I'm seeing nothing but good things about Street Fighter 6, and you know, this is obviously it's wishful thinking to think that yeah, Street Fighter 6 could maybe be as even close to as popular as an Activision Blizzard game.
Mm. I do feel like Street Fighter 6 is going to have more growth
Yeah.
than Overwatch 2 will.
Yeah.
Unless Activision Blizzard literally goes out of their way to like unfuck up everything they've ever fucked up. I don't think Overwatch 2 is going to get a population growth as much as Street Fighter 6 will compared to Street Fighter 5.
Now, this might be an impossible question to answer, but let's try it. Which name makes you cringe more, Activision Blizzard or Overwatch?
Activision Blizzard.
Activision Blizzard. Okay. Yeah. No, I do agree. It's definitely going to be Activision Blizzard and see how they handle it. But do you think they could turn it around at this point? Like, what could they do? There's already it's kind of like Street Fighter 5. They barely were able to turn it around after its horrible launch. And I'm not saying Overwatch 2's launch is horrible, but what I'm getting at is whether or not it can reach the same heights that it had 1 year after Overwatch 1 came out. Because 1 year after Overwatch 1 came out, Overwatch was still big. Like, it was still one of the most popular games out there. So 1 year after Street Fighter 5 came out, a lot of people just left, you know? And so I wonder, do we think that Overwatch 2 will be able to, you know, be successful as a sequel in that it ends up being better in the long run? Like,
it definitely feels like it's going to be better in the long run.
You believe so? You have faith?
Do you remember? Yeah, but do you also remember what they did with Overwatch 1? Apparently, if I remember right, Overwatch 1, they were really pushing for it to be an esport to the point where they like shot themselves in the foot repeatedly.
It was a very unnatural attempt, unnatural growth.
Yeah.
They were pushing it too hard, and as anyone knows, like, Street Fighter 5 did the same thing. A game that forces itself to be an esport usually doesn't work out. Valorant is maybe the exception at the moment, wherein that game was straight up designed to be an esport.
The issue is that has Riot's backing, and they have already have like connections with that sort of thing, just because of League of Legends being the esport.
That is true. That is true. They already have something behind that. Mugen says, do I want to have hope for them to make things right? Absolutely. Do I think they will? Honestly, if they want the game to survive month 1, Activision Blizzard needs to definitely step up. They do, but what can they do aside from fix this? Let's say they fix the servers, right? The servers work. Let's say they remove the phone number thing. Let's say, bam, phone number thing, non-issue. I'm not gonna play it. Like, nothing is gonna make me want to play it, at least for the first few months, right? Especially with everything else coming out and all these other games that I want to play, that I have installed on my Steam Deck and or whatever, right? Xbox. But how do I put this? Where is the co-op mode? When is that?
Infinite?
No. Wasn't one of the big selling points of Overwatch 2 gonna be that PvE mode?
I thought they were gonna have story mode, yeah. Oh, they were gonna have like a 3-person PvE mode, weren't they?
Yeah, that one.
Like a healer, a tank, and a DPS, I think.
Yeah, so do we have any idea when that's happening? When does Overwatch 2 PvE come out? Because right now, okay, hold on. It arrives in 2023. There is no date.
Ugh. That's not a good sign. You want to know what was promised in 2022? Halo Infinite's co-op.
Oh my god.
Didn't that take like a long ass time? I've heard people say that them making it free to play is also going to be a big like no for them.
You think so?
Yeah. Like, I don't think there's going to be that many people buying this game.
Well,
Like, buying any characters or anything.
I definitely am not enticed at the moment. Like, even okay, I'll admit I didn't watch the Kiriko short. I know people are a big fan of I think it was a blind girl that's in there. They're saying that they should make her character, but the fanfare just does. Maybe it's just the people I follow, but the fanfare just doesn't seem to be there like it was when those Overwatch 1 cinematics were coming out. You know.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I talked about this like a while ago, but the magic just doesn't seem to be there. But like, if I'm gonna play a competitive shooter like Overwatch, Valorant's there.
There's a lot of options for it.
Valorant's there. I have no clue how that Gundam game is going, but I'm sure it's doing fine.
I am doing the daily grind in it. Thank you very much. I've almost finished the battle pass. I'm 38 out of 60 on the battle pass.
Oh man, yeah, no, I looked
it still has 49 days left to go. So I don't know when that's going to happen.
Oh, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like Overwatch lost its soul almost. Tronup, is that game worth getting into? It looks rad.
Gundam's really fun if you have at least 2 people. And then if you queue up with more than 3 people, then you start getting queued up with other people who are grouped up in more than 3. And then you get fucked. Because then they're competent.
I remember Angel saying something about like Angel doesn't like the time to kill. He thinks you die really fast in that game.
I mean, it's not any faster than Valorant.
Okay.
The issue is they really want you to like pick your fights in Gundam. They don't want you to they literally do not want you to rush in by yourself and die like I always do. Unless you're specifically a character that has like the super armor.
In Gundam is hoppy jumping like a thing? Like do people
There is.
Yeah.
There's a very hoppy jumping, yes.
No, just like because when I think of Overwatch, I think of jump, shoot, crouch, jump, shoot. Don't get just jumping, just a lot of jumping. In
Gundam, the movement is very it has weight to it. Like you need to know how to. You get like one. Okay, you have like a thrust bar instead of a sprint meet or like stamina bar in Gundam.
So it's like an instant boost.
Mm-hmm. And you can use it for one dash, or you can just hold it to like do a sprint speed in any direction. And different Gundams have different like bar types. There's the triple bar, the double bar, and the single bar. The big chunky guys get the single bar. The very mobile ones get like the triple bar, like melee units.
So it's just like the varying cooldowns of like Overwatch characters. Like everyone has their own like cooldowns, or like is there like
the bar comes back at the same rate, but I think the sprint costs the same for all units, and the thrusters come back at the same rate, but it's just the amount of dashes you have that changes depending on that bar.
Okay. Mugen says Angel can eat a dick. He bullied me in Street Fighter 6. I fell asleep. I had the stream up, your stream up, but I fell asleep after I ended and rated you. But I hope you had fun with the little time you had with the beta, Mugen. I'm still hoping someone cracks the game so that we can play it offline.
I thought it was already cracked.
It wasn't, unfortunately. Has not yet been. Damn. Unless you know something that I don't. In which case, send me that link, my friend.
Oh, no. Okay, my bad. That was just something else.
Okay.
That was something else that was just labeled Street Fighter 6.
Are you sleepy, bud? Do you need to go to bed? Are you good?
Are
you good? Are you sleepy? Do you need a...
Oh, no. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm in a weird state of pure awakenedness.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But yeah, I guess that pretty much covers all our like everything I really, really wanted to talk about, like in terms of like because I really just wanted to compare like Street Fighter 6 and Overwatch 2 and Overwatch 2 to a bunch of other things happening. It's just I
I keep nodding as if you hear me.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Don't worry. I can feel the nods. Don't worry. I can feel the nods in your silence. But yeah, no, I am again. I have no doubt Street Fighter. I have no doubts Overwatch 2 will still be around. It's just a matter of it just to me in my head, its player base will just be stale. Like stale in the sense that I don't see it changing. Like I see it as a straight line of like, okay, these people are still playing Overwatch. Okay, these same people are still playing Overwatch, and that's good,
Yeah.
right? Whereas when I think of Street Fighter 6, I'm just like, just like climbing up that mountain. They're running up that hill, you know,
There's
running
also
up
going
that
to be.
building.
Does Street Fighter 6 have any plans for arcade releases?
No, I
There's
don't.
not going to be any arcade machines
As
for it.
far as I know, there won't be at the moment.
Because I was thinking like maybe someone might just put in their arcade. Then again, most arcades just like buy a console now, right, and just put it in.
Yeah, a bunch of arcades do that. Here's one thing though. What if they made Street Fighter 6 free to play with a rotating character list? Because they still haven't announced like additions and pricing.
I would like that just because I'm a free to play person who just enjoys.
But going back to the whole free to play thing, kind of souring things. How do they prevent
It
it
is
from
hard for fighting games,
how?
yeah.
Yeah, like how do they
Dead or
prevent it?
Alive did that right,
They
and that's
they
why they did all their money in costume DLCs.
Yes, but let's face it, that's DOA. No offense to DOA, I love DOA
Killer
too.
Instinct had to do that at some point, didn't it? Just because of how poor the sales were.
No, they did that. It came out free to play to entice people to play it. Like that was already a given model that they wanted to do, especially given the low budget of the game.
Mhm.
They wanted to they wanted to entice people to hop in the game, try it, and then spend money on like the full
Yeah.
character roster. Yeah, I saw Killer Instinct. They fixed ranked. I've been playing a lot of offline Killer Instinct just for fun, just for funsies on Steam. Uh, just unlocking colors and stuff. It's a fun game. If I honestly want to run some KI, sometime soon on Steam though. I don't know if do you have Killer Instinct, Toronto?
No, it's weird. I think my friend has it on the Xbox.
Do you have PC Game Pass?
Not right now, but I could get it for $1 for some reason because I have the deal for $1 again.
Oh man.
Like every time I unsub from Xbox Game Pass, it gives me the deal for $1 again.
I forget. Is Killer Instinct Steam crossplay? I'm gonna check that out real quick. Yeah,
I
Killer
think it is.
Instinct is so damn fun
Oh wait, no, that may be one of the games that isn't crossplay.
because it's crossplay between Xbox and Windows. I know that much.
Yeah.
Uh,
Danganronpa
uh,
V3. I forgot that went to Game Pass.
it did. Uh, Steam and Xbox. Here we go. Reddit thread. I thank you, Reddit. Uh,
Honestly, I can't think of any other fighting games that were free to play other
okay.
than Dead or Alive or Killer Instinct.
It looks like it's crossplay. I might have to just test it out myself. I'll just boot up the Xbox and boot up my Aya Neo or my Steam Deck and see if I can connect myself. Might be I closed the browser with the things I wanted to read for stream. God damn it. Recently closed.
Right click and see if you can open all tabs.
I can. I got it.
Persona 4 is coming the 21st?
Dude, it is. I'm so excited. I'm also really excited to get because it's on because it's all gonna be on Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
So
and
I'm
then you
like,
can even mod it.
I've got my Aya Neo Air over here. It's got the OLED screen is so great. I'm still gonna make a video on it soon, but this thing's OLED screen is so nice. Like I installed what I wanted to tell you was I installed Ni no Kuni remastered on it.
Ooh.
Because I never finished I never really did anything in the first in the original Ni no Kuni. I had it on PS3, but I didn't really do much in it because I didn't know what I was doing. But playing it on the OLED screen on this thing is portably, I'm definitely gonna get at least farther than I did when it first came out.
No news for Persona 4 yet.
Okay. Yeah. But like wait, no, Persona, I'm pretty sure all the Persona games are coming to Game Pass though.
Yeah, but they don't have like set dates yet, I don't think.
Oh yeah. Oh. Wait.
Oh, God, High on Life.
Yeah. I don't care about that Justin Roiland game.
It's literally, it looks so bad.
I was watching with Bro. I don't know if you know the show Star and the Star
versus the Forces of
Evil. Yeah. I like that show. It's a fun show. And then in one of the episodes in season 3 or 4, I hear there's a side character. It was like a I think it's like a broom. It's a broom, and I swear to God, it's Justin Roiland. And I was just like, oh no, I thought I was safe. I thought I was safe from Justin Roiland, but nope.
Doop is a living broom.
Yes,
voice,
that is
Justin
him.
Roiland.
It was him. I didn't even look it up. I heard it was just yesterday when we saw that episode. I was like, that's Justin Roiland. Oh God. Yeah,
he doesn't really. He has a range, but when he uses his normal voice, he uses his normal voice.
Yeah. God. Yeah, Doop the broom. Apparently that's Star's first magic spell. That she just abandons in a shed. It was funny, but at the same time, oh God, yeah, all I could see is Rick, Morty, and whatever other voices Justin Roiland does. That's just Justin Roiland.
Meeseeks, I think.
Mr. Meeseeks. Mr. Meeseeks.
I think he does Meeseeks, doesn't he?
I think so. I don't know. I didn't really watch Rick and Morty.
Neither did I.
Ah, crap. We got so sidetracked. There was something. I forgot what we were talking about. Anyway, yeah, Killer Instinct. I'm definitely going to try to run some of those.
You were going to check the crossplay between it, and you were gushing about your OLED.
Yeah, I was. I mean, if we're looking at sequels, do we count Killer Instinct as a sequel to like the old like N64 / like SNES?
Canonically, it is, isn't it? I don't think it's a reboot,
and it's great.
I think it just,
that's a good one. Like, even if you count the fact that it's free to play, I remember what we were talking about now. Do you think that it being Street Fighter 6, if it were to be free to play with a rotating character list and limited modes, would that sour like potential people's like view on it? Because Halo Infinite,
I feel like an entry price point is required for Street Fighter at this point.
You think so?
I would like it because it's me, and I just feel like free to play stuff is more my jam. But I do feel like for a general consumer consensus, it would be better if they left that made it a paid for thing. At least an entry price, like even if it's just a cheaper option to have a rotating option of characters.
Because, okay, Multiversus has a battle pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch 2's new thing is that it has a battle pass, hence the free to play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Street Fighter 6 wouldn't do a battle pass. I don't think. Right?
I don't think they have it. I don't think they have like. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
It feels weak. I don't think a fighting game could do a battle pass well, just because of how. Multiverses can do it better, just because it's the battle pass relies on like the team mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's more on point than. Because putting daily challenges in a fighting game seems kind of annoying. Because for Gundam, you have to play specific Gundams to do the dailies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Overwatch probably has something like heal X person too, and some characters probably can't heal for dailies for the battle pass.
Did you forget that Street Fighter 5 had daily challenges?
They did? Were they play as X character? I'm going to be honest. I literally do not remember them.
Street Fighters 5 daily challenges. Yeah, no, they did.
That sounds
It
so
would,
bad.
because that's what they did after they nerfed the fight money. They were like, okay, we nerfed the fight money, but here are more ways for you to earn fight money: daily challenges and weekly challenges.
Okay, yes, please get those out of there. I
In
feel like that. I think I may have subconsciously blocked these out of my memory.
Wait, hold on. Street
Oh,
Fighter 5 daily challenges. I closed it by accident. I wanted to look
okay,
at.
yeah. I hope Street Fighter 6 doesn't have that.
Well, if here's the thing, if it's free to play, would this turn you off still?
Mm,
Because the
if it
difference
was
is,
free to play, no, but just because it's free to play, daily challenges and stuff make more sense. Yeah.
like, there's one that says, like, play survival mode, play a ranked match, knock down your
Who in their
opponent.
right mind plays survival mode? I don't know a single person who played survival mode more than once.
You had to do it because you'd earn fight money, a lot of fight money in the beginning of the game's life, like per
Yeah,
character.
they nerfed it.
Yeah, and then they nerfed it.
When I got into the game was after the nerfs, so I
No,
couldn't earn fight money anyway.
earn an arcade score of 100,000 or more. Okay.
Ugh.
Oh, here there's more. So there's let's see, a game of push and pull. I remember this one. I did this one. So in the stage City in Chaos, there's a red car. You got to knock down your opponent where the red car is so that the red car flips over.
That sounds so annoying. Could you do that on like training or practice
I
mode?
think you could do it against an AI in like arcade mode. I'm not entirely sure.
God. Ugh.
Here's a simple one. Data's wish: win a battle in India with Dalsim.
If you're not a fan of playing Dulcim, then that sounds like it would be annoying.
You gotta play Dalsim. Here we go. Funny guy. Do heavy attacks near the janitor on the left side of the Union stage until the janitor falls into a bucket.
These sound so dumb. It's like find Waldo. Why?
Or
At least make them something like make sense, like play X amount of games per day.
I mean, that is also one of them. So don't worry, it's there.
Uh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Back to the main point. Street Fighter 6 should not be free to play and should not have daily challenges or battle pass.
Okay. I do, and I will agree with you there. And when they need to make more money, they can charge us for costumes. But here comes the next question: do they charge? Do you think it would be feasible for them to release the characters for free?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think they're gonna. I think they need to charge for characters too.
Because that's like,
I hope they don't do the. I hope they don't do the fight money thing where you can unlock them again. Because it feels like they really didn't want you to unlock them.
no, yeah, it was
in
pointless.
Street Fighter 5. So I'd rather they just be upfront about it and go, hey, if you want these characters, buy them.
Yeah, because
Here's the. I liked when in Street Fighter 5, sometimes they just gave you trial days where you could try out those characters during like certain events.
those were nice.
Like maybe during tournament months, just hey, here's these characters you can try out. You don't own them yet, but you could.
You could. You definitely could. Oh, what was I gonna say? What I if that's the case, what I think they should do, not the free trial days. I don't think that's what they should do. They should just allow everyone to play anyone in training mode. At least,
Like maybe the mission mode.
fine.
Not just training, but specifically the mission mode, probably.
Fine. Mission mode is fine enough, but I still stand by, like, having them free to play in training mode is important, because one of the things that get people to think that a fighting game is is pay to win is that you won't be able to practice against certain characters unless you own them.
That makes sense.
So I think if they do it that way, that would be the best case scenario that is realistic.
Mm-hmm.
But in an ideal world, they just come out for free. Same with stages; they just come out, and then they charge for, again, costumes.
I'll never understand why they don't have stages for free.
Yeah,
Like for Tekken 2, I also don't understand why stages aren't free.
well, now that the game, that Street Fighter 6, like Street Fighter 6 is, well, the way Street Fighter 6 works now is that everyone can see their own like individual stages. There really is no reason for them not to be free. Because if everyone can just see their own thing, it's going to be the same 2D platform just with a different background. Then, no, yeah, I agree with you there too. I'm trying to think, because you know how Call of Duty used to do things, right? They used to release a season pass, and then people that bought the season pass could have those maps, but then they wouldn't be able to play with people without them, and vice versa, kind of thing, right? Kind of cutting the player base in a certain percentage.
I actually didn't remember that. I didn't remember
the
I didn't
rules.
remember like cutting the different, like splitting it up that much.
It split it up significantly. You could, if you looked at the numbers of like who's playing the DLC playlists, not nearly, not even close to half as many people for the most part. So now they do it. What they do is they release the maps for free, so everyone gets access to them. Guns are new guns are either given to you or unlocked through the battle pass. And I'm talking about Call of Duty, like the $60 or $70 game, not Warzone or any of the free to play stuff. And those games still have battle passes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was thinking about, when I was thinking about Street Fighter 6, when I brought it up earlier, that's why I brought up the whole, what if they released characters for free? What if they released stages for free? Because if Call of Duty can do it, I'm not saying Street Fighter and Capcom should be able to do it, but Call of Duty makes most of their money now off of skins and stuff. If they release the characters for free and just make more interesting skins than they ever have, ever before, I think they could do it. I think
that's
they could.
How you get Dead or Alive 6, though.
Yeah, but Dead or Alive 6 was already.
That's exactly what Dead or Alive 6 did.
Okay, but wait, no, Dead or Alive 6 didn't. Dead or Alive 6 had no character DLC. Did it?
I think it started. Didn't it start off as a paid game and then turned free to play at some point?
I honestly don't remember because I barely played it. I played the beta for Dead or Alive 6 and I liked it. I just didn't see myself having the time to play it.
Okay, Dead or Alive.
Yeah, okay, you look it up.
Did it cost money to start?
No, because it had DOA 6 core fighters, but I think that came out at the same time as the full game did. Honestly, I really don't know. But this is
Dead or Alive 6 charges you every time you change a character's hair color. That sounds dumb. That was 2020.
See, Dead or Alive 6 screwed up in so many more ways. So I don't think comparing the potential that Street Fighter 6 has to that is I don't think that works out.
Dead or Alive 6 base game costs $60. What?
What does the more expensive version come with?
That doesn't sound right. Let me check the Steam page. Yeah, it's free. Wait, yeah, what? Oh, Core Fighters.
That's the free one, right?
Yeah, okay, it definitely released the game first. What does the Digital Deluxe Edition come with? Phase 4 was a DLC character.
Why was Phase 4?
That came with the Digital Deluxe Edition. Which means they did have character DLC, technically. Does Core Fighters only get you one character?
I'm trying to find it. Okay, there it is. Dead or Alive 6 Core Fighters. Hey, I could probably install this on my Steam Deck anyway. It
Kasumi
is
Hata-
verified. I could.
It gives you 4 characters? A separate character? Oh, you have to buy the characters individually? Can you earn them in-game, or is it...
No, you're definitely buying those.
Nayu Tengu is specifically a character DLC.
I'm looking
You
at...
play as all characters if you do not have the character license. Story unlock key is required. To play story mode, you have to pay for it, I guess.
How much? I wonder how much that is.
I do have the Steam page.
Look, I still stand by that this game was fun. And it was very interesting. And oh, that's a tentacle. That is a tentacle. Yeah, that was a thing. I still liked it, but yeah, I know. I still think that Street Fighter 6 could do it. Like, go for costumes and sell costumes and give characters out for free. I think they could. It would be nice.
It would be nice, but I feel like that's not gonna happen just because I feel like Street Fighter needs the solidity of a base price.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, no, yeah, no, I agree with like paying $60 for the game, sure, or 70, because that's where the economy's going now, I guess. But I think free characters, like free DLC characters with paid DLC that's maybe a bit more expensive than it used to be. Like I'm thinking Fortnite levels of pricing, maybe like at most $20 skins. Same with Call of Duty, because if they're really good, you know, if they look really good, I think they could get away with it, and I think that would be for the best. But
I feel like $20 for a set of like 4 skins makes more sense than $20 for an individual skin.
fair enough, and that's a good way to just get money off of people.
Maybe pair it like 5 for 20, but each skin individually costs $5.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. See, now you're thinking like a moneymaker. Oh man. But yeah, regardless, we don't know anything yet. But again, those are the best case scenarios. Either way, in conclusion, I think In conclusion, we agree that Street Fighter 6 is looking like a way better sequel than Overwatch 2 is. And it's looking to be, and that Overwatch 2 is going to have a hard time like getting back up there or even close to up there. Like its growth is not going to be, I mean, that's what I said. What I said was I think that Overwatch 2's growth won't be as intense as Street Fighter's growth with Street Fighter 6. Do we agree on that?
Yeah.
All right. Time to look at these top 10 lists. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. DualShockers.com. 10 best video game sequels written by Elias Rodriguez. This was published on September 8th, 2022.
Arkham City. Oh my god, I forgot about that game.
I'm looking at it too. I never played Resistance. Did you ever play Resistance?
No.
Well, that's number 10 on their list. It's Resistance. Resistance.
It looks
2.
like generic 2008 shooter.
It really does. Like with the browns and the yellow.
The browns and the grunge and the smoke.
Yeah. But good on them. You know, what do they have to say about it? Game series takes it on a much larger scale. Good narrative, size of bosses.
They picked a very bad screenshot.
They really did.
That literally looks like the most generic footage from a shooter. That looks like that looks like the fake shooters they make for TV shows.
It really does. Like we have Halo at home, we have Doom at home, kind of. But
we have Doom 3 at home.
Yeah, Doom 3 specifically. Yeah, that's the right one. You know what? Maybe one day I'll give Resistance a shot again. They should. You know what Sony should do? They should port a bunch of their old PS3 games to fucking PC.
That's hard to do though, because the PS3 was like a fucking spaghetti.
So fucking glued together with spaghetti and white sauce.
This is the hardest software. This is the machine with the hardest possible software possible.
I just want PS3.
You can't hack it easily, but
dude, the things I would give for Metal Gear Solid 4 at 60 frames per second. Please.
Oh,
Please. Or you know what?
there's a
Fuck.
lot of other PS3 games that were good too that I can't remember off the top of my head.
I would like Twisted Metal at 60 frames per second because I stand by that. That game was good. It just ran like ass on the PS3. Because that game could that hardware could not take it. It really could not. But going back to Resistance 2, it's talking about like having one of the largest bosses in gaming. That kind of makes me want to look into it. Maybe try it someday. I don't know.
I wonder if they mean largest in terms of care compared to the first person perspective, or largest in terms of like just a big thing to shoot.
The words they used were it was so big it scaled over skyscrapers in the game. So
I feel like a Lost Planet did better. I'm pretty sure Lost Planet you fight something like the size of a city.
Okay, real quick, what game do you think is on here definitely on this list? DualShockers.
Well, I did see Batman earlier, so we're going to assume Arkham City.
Don't give Arkham City. We can't use that. We already saw that one.
Yeah. DualShockers is specifically PlayStation stuff, right?
I mean, they'll do multiplats too.
Not Injustice. What's the name of that one with the Shocky guy?
The Shocky guy.
Not
Infamous.
Not Prototype. Infamous 2 is going to be on this list probably.
Do you think they'll ever come back? Prototype?
No.
No.
Prototype definitely. No.
You think so? Oh, definitely no. I thought you were gonna say definitely they'll come back.
No, Prototype 2 made no fucking sense, I don't think.
Page study, BioShock Infinite. You think BioShock Infinite would be here? I don't think so, no. Uncharted 2, I feel like, is an obvious choice.
I hate Uncharted 3 so much.
Yeah,
another example of bad sequel. Uncharted 3.
It's the only one I never played. And I played Golden Abyss on the PS Vita.
Here's a 20-minute fucking walking section.
I hate that.
Through a desert.
There's only... Oh, God.
It had a cool fucking plane scene, but other than that, I didn't like the comment in that game either. It felt like they made the AI like weirdly smarter, but in a bad way.
Number 9 was Batman Arkham City, like you said. That one I feel like is generally agreed upon, that Arkham City was...
That is the best game in the series, just because Arkham Knight has the Batmobile and forces it down your fucking throat.
Yeah. Not to mention that the launch of that game was fun. Especially on PC.
All the bugs and the PC bugs.
That they had to delist the PC version. You know, that was...
And then they relisted it, and then it was still buggy.
It was still buggy.
And they never fixed it.
Great time. So Arkham City's on there. Sure.
Arkham City's one of those rare games that I actually beat multiple times.
Do you count Dark Souls as a sequel?
It's a spiritual successor to Demon's Souls.
That's literally the word. Those are literally the words this article used. Dark Souls was a spiritual successor to Demon's Souls. Fine. But I feel like a more fair comparison would be Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 2, in which case
Dark Souls 2 is not. Dark Souls 2 is like argued to be a good sequel because there are fucking insane people who like it the best out of all the games.
That's an odd choice. From what I can tell,
Want to know why the people know? You wanted most of the people who like it the best played that one first.
There you go.
Every time that I see anyone say that they like Dark Souls 2 best, it's because they played it first.
I have to be honest with you. The first Resident Evil game I ever finished to completion was Resident Evil 4. Is that why I think Resident Evil 4 is the best one?
Maybe. The first one I did was Resident Evil 6. At least I have the brain capacity to say it's not the best one. I've beaten RE6, then RE5, and I've not beaten any of the other ones.
Okay.
I do know what happens in them, but I've never beaten them.
I'm glad. Okay, I'm gonna take what you just said and say that okay, I'm not crazy in thinking RE4 is the best, even though it's the
Even
first
people
one I
who played
played.
the first three sometimes say 4 is the best, so you're
Yeah,
normal.
there we go. All right, I'm justified. Oh my god. Okay, here's a good one. I can't believe none of us thought of this earlier. Smash Bros. Melee.
I thought this was for. I honestly thought this was just Sony stuff.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, you could probably play Melee on a hacked console, but I'm sure we're not talking about that. But yeah, Melee
Yeah.
was a sequel, in case you guys
I
forgot.
God, I hate the fucking Melee community.
Yeah, but you know,
People who like Melee are okay, but the Melee community can go fuck and die.
okay.
Ugh.
Opinions on the communities aside, Melee was a great sequel.
Yes.
It like the adventure mode, the classic mode, all the unlockables, the gameplay
Yep.
being as refined as it was, broken but refined.
So
Cause
something funny.
what's up?
My friend owned this on his GameCube,
Mm-hmm.
and I was at his house a fuck ton of my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
We never played it. You don't know what we played? Kirby fucking Air
Air
Ride
Ride,
and Super
Kirby
Monkey
Air
Ball.
Ride, baby. You know what? That's fair. Kirby Air Ride is great, and so is Super Monkey Ball. So, you know what? I'll back you up on that. That's a fine.
So Brawl was my first bit. I had the original in 64. I remembered playing that, and then I had Brawl, and Brawl was the one that I put so much time into.
Okay. So hold on. Would you say that Brawl is a better sequel to Melee than Melee was to Smash 64?
Melee definitely added more from Smash 64 than Brawl did to Melee, I think.
But space time. What the fuck? What the
Subspace
subspace
Emissary.
emissary? And all
That
these guest characters that had never been in the game before, like Snake.
Yeah.
Uh,
Brawl
uh,
had so much shit in it. You're right. But people said there's a lot of people who say the gameplay was a downstep just because of how floaty it was in comparison to Melee.
but let's not think about like the competitive side of things, right? Let's just think about it as like a general, like to the public sequel.
It definitely had more going for it. That's why it sold more. Also because it was on the Wii.
Well, yeah, that's true. Everyone and their
No,
mothers and
like
grandmothers own a Wii.
apparently the GameCube is still one of the lowest selling fucking Nintendo products.
Yeah,
Apparently,
that's true.
that's why Melee isn't really. I
It,
wonder how many people in the Melee community have never played it on a GameCube. It's gotta be a pretty big margin, right?
Probably, especially people that are getting in that got into it, like yeah,
In the past, like 12
years.
In the past, like fuck, it's probably like in the past 15 years. Anyone who got into it probably got into it through emulators.
You know what?
Because there was a good GameCube emulator in 2000. Dolphin was around since 2007, right?
Yeah, yeah. 2007, I think. It sounds right. You know, I think Melee is a better sequel than Brawl was to Melee. I think the jump was better. 'Cause I asked the question in hopes to maybe finding the answer that I want to give, but
Melee had a lot of stuff for like its adventure mode, right? Like there was lots of like there was
yeah,
like a hidden story mode, sort
yeah.
of.
And then you had the mini games too. How you doing, J-Mac?
Subspace definitely had a lot more presentation and shit, though.
Yeah, presentation wise, that game was better, but people go back to Melee for a reason. Like it has a feel to it that I think makes it definitely the better sequel. I mean, I don't know because okay, so here's what happens from 64 to Melee, 100% all around added stuff to the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But going from Melee to Brawl, while it added a lot of features, also removed some. So yeah, okay, going by that logic, Melee is the better sequel. Right? Do you agree with that, or
are you guys talking
Let's
about
not forget
Melee, the greatest game ever?
I forgot I had the Discord open. It was supposed to be closed. Is this Adam?
Yeah, hey, sorry.
Oh,
I'll
no,
leave.
no, 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 no. You know what? It's fine. We're almost done, but
Mhm.
we're almost done. But you can. How did you get in here? I forgot to put a limit on the. No, wait, no,
Yeah,
It was limited
it's
to
a limit of
3,
3.
but
Oh,
we
okay.
Yeah,
had 2.
sorry.
No, no, no. Don't be. Angel was supposed to be here, but he fell
Mhm.
asleep, I guess.
Sounds like
What
it.
I was going to bring up was Brawl had all those virtual games in it too. Like it had all those NES games in it.
It did. I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
It had F-Zero in it. It had like F-Zero, Ice Climbers, the original
Okay.
Kid Icarus.
I do remember
It was like
this now.
demos that
It
you
was-
could then go into the Wii shop and then buy them from the.
Was it just demos? I thought it was full games.
I'm pretty.
It was like demos or like various challenges or something like that. I can't remember, but I do know that there was like a demo of, I think it was Kid Icarus that I played a bit.
I'm pretty sure there were like limited time demos and stuff like that. Yeah.
I
But
could have sworn it was the full games in there.
so okay, since there's 3 of us now, even for the short amount of time we have left, so Melee or Brawl as the better sequel.
I'm gonna say Brawl.
I'm gonna
just
say-
because of how much it added in terms of just. It added a lot of quality of life stuff too, didn't it? Like
It
how to
did.
unlock trophies and how to unlock characters. Because right, and in Melee, did you have to do the story mode, or could you just keep doing fights over and over
You
again?
could just keep doing fights over and over again to unlock characters.
There were
'Cause-
some characters that were locked behind like doing event mode in Melee,
right.
specifically Mewtwo.
Right.
And then I think a few others were like beat adventure mode in under a certain amount of time or in this amount of time or whatever, and then that would get you the chance to unlock a character there.
In
Okay.
Brawl, I remember that you could unlock everyone in subspace, right?
Yeah.
You could also unlock everyone through just fighting each other, if I remember right.
I don't remember that because like the main way people
It was
would
like
do it
every
is through
100
subspace.
fight. It was like every 100 fights or something. I think that you could fight a new challenger.
Was that
It's faster
Brawl?
just to do subspace.
I thought that was Wii U, but maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. It could be both.
It might have carried over.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I feel like that's what happened. I could have sworn that's how you did it in 64 too. 64, you had to just fight a ton, and then you unlocked them. You had to fight them 1v1, and then you won, and then you unlocked them, and you just had to keep doing more fights. I thought it was like 100 fights each time for all of those in 64, and that was the only way to unlock them in 64.
Such a long
Because there really
time.
wasn't another way. Yeah.
You were supposed to enjoy it with your friends over a long period of time.
I guess.
Or you could just set it so that it's 999% and then just one stock and then just kill an NPC a ton.
And
Memories.
good before the internet told us day one what was in a game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
When you are still surprised as to like, ooh, who's that gonna be? Who's that Pokemon? You know?
We
You're
didn't
finding
have a
out day
memory
one.
card.
I'm finding out 3 weeks ahead.
Man, I
Yeah.
just remembered we didn't have a memory card. The furthest we ever unlocked was Captain Falcon, I think, because he was
Good
like the first
job.
one. No,
Not-
was it Luigi? I think Luigi was the first one.
I think
to
Luigi would make
unlock.
the sense. Yeah, would make the most sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever got past Luigi, so I didn't know the other 3 people in that game.
All right.
It was Puff, Falcon, and Ness, right?
I don't fucking.
Yeah, I
have no
remember
clue.
Luigi, Captain Falcon. Maybe was Jigglypuff. Let me look up the
Yeah, Jigglypuff was in
roster.
there.
Oh yeah. It was Jigglypuff was base roster. Was it?
I
No.
literally Googled N64 roster and it came up with the Super Smash Bros. Yeah, Luigi, Captain Falcon, Ness, and Jigglypuff were the 4 hidden characters.
Damn.
I remember because they're the ones on the outside edge.
Adam, Melee or Brawl?
So here's the thing.
Mm.
I played more of Brawl, but going back, I probably would have preferred Melee.
Okay, but we're talking in the sense of like sequels. Like, would you
uh,
say that from going from 64? Because what JMax said was 64 to Melee was better than Melee to Brawl. Up is saying Melee to Brawl was better, and I'm saying I disagree with that. I say 64 to Melee was a better jump. as a sequel?
Yeah, I'd say it's from 64 to Melee was the better sequel. Not to say that I don't love the Melee to Brawl.
Yeah.
It's just Brawl added a lot of stuff, and like you said, it removed a lot of stuff. And some of the stuff it added wasn't always great. I love Subspace Emissary, but one of my favorite things to do is go back and watch like old reaction videos. And if you want a more exciting and hype thing, look at the reveal at E3 for Super Smash Bros. Melee. It's the best thing.
I love that video. That is a great moment in gaming history for sure.
Yeah.
JMax says Tronop is correct. Character battles would happen at milestones in Brawl. For example, after your 50th fight, you fight Falco, and if you beat him, you get him. Okay. So, yeah, just certain intervals. All right. So that's 2 for Melee, 64 to Melee, and 1 for Brawl to... from Melee to Brawl. See how much more fun this would have been if Angel had showed up like he said he was going to. I'm not saying I wasn't having a good time with you, Tronop, but I had it planned for 3 for a specific reason, and it was because it would be a lot more
engaging.
Not necessarily engaging, but more of having more opinions and more like point of views is always fun, and getting point of views from chat is fun too. But I asked Angel for specific reasons, and he fell asleep. I asked him, I don't know if you heard me earlier, Adam, or if you just tuned in now, but I messaged Angel earlier. Like, I messaged him when I announced that I was going to do the podcast like 2-3 days ago. I was like, hey, you want to do this? He said, yeah, sure. And then I messaged him earlier today, like at like 5:51 my time. No, sorry. At around 5:47 my time. I was like, hey, you still down to do the podcast later? And then he immediately says, yeah, I'm down. I'm not sick anymore, thankfully.
I swear the man just goes off the grid for like months at a time.
I trusted him. I really did. But I really shouldn't be surprised either.
You should have promised him a game of Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
God damn it. He uninstalled it.
Really?
He needed space.
For Street Fighter 6 beta?
Because man, I don't know what he needed it for, but man needs to get a new hard drive, or at least a new external. To
be fair, I also have the issue of always racing games.
That too.
I
have
an SSD, but it only has like 200 gigs. Jesus. I have 1 terabyte and a 250 gig 250 gig terabyte. The fuck does that mean? 250 gig SSD.
Okay, let me see. Actually, yeah, its space is 238 gigs.
Jesus.
Some of that is dedicated to Warframe.
Good old Warframe.
Even though I don't play it anymore, it's dedicated to it for some reason.
JMax says subspace means a lot to me because I probably wouldn't be here without it. I played it over and over as a kid and then fell in love with Smash because of it. Then Smash brought me into the FGC and the rest is history. Playing subspace is one of my favorite gaming memories. And that's good to hear because, you know, as JMac did say earlier, that he thinks the jump from 64 to Melee was better, but, you know, that's not to say that Brawl isn't a good game either, you know, or that the jump from Melee to Brawl is a bad jump. It's just, you know, I just wanted to see which jump was better, you know?
A majority of my time in Brawl was actually spent at my library. They had like a weekly game night on Thursdays. So I was always just playing that. They also had a Dance Dance Revolution pass.
In the library?
Yeah, they had like their staff.
What kind of library did you go to?
Their staff room, they just like put games up and stuff inside of it, and it was fun every week.
So it was in a room, right? Like it wasn't like in the library. It was in the room in the library, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they also had an anime day on Saturdays, which was really fun. We just sat around, watched anime, ate Pocky.
I'm over here doing my calculus homework.
What kind of library did you go to?
My local public one.
Your public library?
Yeah.
Man, it's forbidden.
I don't.
Your public library. Public libraries have that kind of thing.
Oh my god.
That's.
Look, we even had in the like main branch of my public library had anime cons every year.
Okay.
To my understanding, this is more of a recent thing and completely unrelated to like anime and video games.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just recently finding out that my public library, like on Sundays, has a
Church.
D&D night.
Oh.
No. The church would say the exact opposite of what church is.
Yeah, if you just look at your local library, public library listings, they probably have these kinds of things.
I will look it up later. Next time on the underscore is silent podcast, we look at libraries that are cool and do cool things.
Public libraries aren't just for playing RuneScape, you know.
Let's move.
Downloading illegal manga.
Let's move down. Let's move down the list. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I feel like you could talk about this one. Mass Effect 2.
Yes.
Oh, I could talk a lot about that.
Oh yeah.
That was after EA bought them, and that is why Mass Effect 2 is definitely the best out of the three in terms of writing.
Mm-hmm.
And the gameplay
Absolutely.
is also good. 3 definitely had the gameplay handle just because of it being on a newer, just because of how
newer system, like newer engine or whatever.
Yeah.
it moved away from like the original though, where your abilities matter more. In 3, it's very combat oriented. It's like it's more Gears of War than
That's
it
not what I
used to be.
want. I mean, I don't know what I'd want in a Mass Effect game because I've never played one, but I'd imagine
has a lot
choices.
of-
Oh my god.
And yes,
Guile,
what?
please,
What?
for the love of God, at some point.
It's on
like-
Game Pass, so I could.
Please.
all of EA Play is on it, so you could play the Legendary Edition.
No, yeah, I'll probably. I wanted to do that. I had it installed at one point, but I was like, I have too many
I will
RPGs.
play it. I will play it with you. Please.
I would be there too.
Look, it's on the list. There's just too many right now, but I do want to get to it eventually. I want to understand like the whole red, the whole blue, or the whole like different paths and stuff like that.
Remember,
Yeah,
Mass Effect 4 is coming out.
that's not gonna be for another who knows when. You know.
Who knows? It's EA.
It's hard to
Yeah.
it's hard to say. Yeah, it's hard to say it's coming out when we've just been teased.
We just know it's
the tiniest
existing.
amount.
Next year.
We also know that Dragon Age is getting a new game
Cancelled.
some year.
Canceled. All of them canceled.
Oh, hey, Angel lives.
Apparently his net
Oh
died.
my god!
Apparently his internet was dead. What are the chances?
For an hour and 40 minutes at the exact time that we needed him.
Yep.
You know, I can't say anything because it's happened to me before.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
internet goes out at like midnight all the time.
He could have messaged me on data. He could have at least.
But Guile, it's Angel.
I know. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm sure he has a logical reason for why he didn't do that as well.
And now there's not room for him in the call.
We're literally like almost done with this podcast. We're already like 40 minutes past how long I wanted this to be. This ended up being a lot longer than I thought it would be.
And then Angel comes in at the tail end. Hi guys, I'm here. Applause.
I accidentally
Surprisingly, I don't have that on my soundboard.
I looked at the next one by accident, but it's Dead Space 2.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
I never played it. I liked 1, but I never played 2.
I think from what I've heard, because I've only played 1 too, but Dead Space 2 is one of those games that are like Portal 2 where they just built upon the already established things. They like didn't, and then 3 happened.
Okay, yeah, we don't even just looking at how people were thinking about 3. I didn't want nothing to do with it.
This list is full of games that have the second game is the best syndrome, isn't it?
Actually, so Dead Space 2, 3 is questionable. Mass Effect 3 questionable at least in the beginning.
Arkham City.
Melee to Brawl. Brawl was kind of you're not
A
wrong.
lot of people hate Brawl here.
Dark Souls
This
2
Brawl was a mixed bag, yeah.
Dark Souls 2, which is
Well, I
technically
mean,
a
that
third
one's
Souls
talking
game.
about Dark Souls being the sequel.
Yeah, Resistance 3 I think was on the PS3. I'm guessing nobody.
I don't even know about the Resistance franchise at all.
Me neither.
This is literally the first I've heard of it.
I'm that's not true. I played one game and it was the PSP one.
The PSP one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder how
man.
the Yakuza PSP games are.
Oh,
I've never
God.
looked at them.
Me neither. Moving on. Kingdom Hearts 2.
That is also a good one.
As a sequel, Kingdom Hearts 2. Again, another series I can say nothing about, and it's a shame that Angel has to pop in at like the butt ass section of the podcast, but
I mean, if you want, I can dip out so he can hop in.
I mean, do you have anything to say about Kingdom Hearts 2?
It exists.
It is a JRPG.
It is a JRPG made by Square Enix and Disney.
Okay, yeah, but like going from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3.
Well, here's a big fucking change from 1 to 2. The movement got infinitely fucking better.
There you go. That's something.
The MP system got infinitely better.
Hold on.
Instead of being
if nothing else, I've heard those two things.
Hold on. I saw an ad for I got a pop-up ad for some game that looked like it had Jin in it from Tekken, and I just want that ad to pop up again just so I can zoom in on it. Cuz it looked it looked really stupid, but now I have this ad for Clavio, get more for your money. I have no clue what that is.
It's Clavio.
It's Clavio.
Get more for your money.
Get more for you. Start now.
This podcast is sponsored by Clavio.
Oh, shut up.
Get more for your money.
If that were the case, there's a Samsung ad right here too. # you make your big game experience.
I do need a new phone, so if we ever get sponsored by Samsung,
I'll just give them your address and just be like, "Yo, send this guy a new phone. Why don't you?" Wait.
Better allow me to play Genshin Impact from my bed.
Yeah.
Or the toilet.
Okay. Number 3 out of 10, Uncharted 2. Easy.
Mm-hmm. Uncharted 2 is very good.
And like even just looking at it, like, oh my god, if you've tried replaying through Uncharted 1, it's not great.
I still like Uncharted 1 more than 3.
Well, yeah, but
by a long shot.
Absolutely. But you can't deny that like the gameplay, even like and from animation quality and stuff, honestly, I was surprised it got a sequel.
I mean, 1 had a lot of charm.
For an indie.
Did one have online?
I don't think 1 had online, no. I think they added that in 3, no?
Was that 3 thing?
Okay. Google. When did Uncharted add multiplayer?
I think Uncharted 2 had it.
You think Uncharted 2 had it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. First brought multiplayer to Uncharted with Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. You were right.
Yeah, it was like one of the PS2 games that had online multiplayer.
Uncharted is not a PS2 game. It's a PS3.
Is it not?
No. It was a PS3 game.
Was Uncharted 1 a PS2 game?
No, it was a PS3 game.
What am I thinking of that was a PS2 game that had online multiplayer?
I don't know.
It exists. There was a fucking Ethernet port on the back of
Ratchet
PS2.
and Clank?
Maybe. I'm going to...
Resistance?
What PS2 game?
Killzone?
List of PS2 online games.
Are you really...
Fight Club?
Fight Club?
Fight Club. Burnout 3.
Hey, we don't talk about Fight Club.
Call of Duty 3.
I think he means EA's Fight Club.
I know. I was just wanting to make the
joke. One with the pink soap label.
Call of Duty 3?
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Okay, hold on.
Hour, Call of Duty 2. Big
hold on. YouTube.com.
Had online on the PS2.
Hold on. Searching Call of Duty PS2 online.
Monster Hunter makes sense.
That one makes sense.
Oh. Mortal Kombat, Armageddon, and Deception had online. Metal Gear Solid 3 had online. Why?
Dang! Look at these.
I don't
look at all the stuff that I didn't play.
Oh, both the Outbreak games had online.
No, yeah, that's how that's the only way you could play co-op.
The Sniper Elite games.
Oh my god, this looks horrible.
On the PS2. Are you watching the?
I'm watching Call of Duty Online on the PS2. It
I'm getting
looks.
some
That's pretty
real
good
bad
quality for a
flashbacks
PS2.
to when my brother was making YouTube videos.
On a camera, just sitting at an angle.
God,
Oh,
this
man.
is
The Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Oh
Tony
my
Hawk
god.
Underground?
I'm
Not
sorry.
on-
I'm sorry. Did you just say Tokyo Drift had online?
Yes.
This is not the podcast about PS2 games with online. This is
This was the sequel podcast, but these are all sequels for the most part. Mobile
this is-
Suit Gundam versus Zeta Gundam.
Hold on. I'm gonna open the door for Angel real quick. I'm gonna add another.
Oh.
You don't have to leave, Adam. Don't worry.
You sure?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I feel like I've overstayed my welcome.
No,
at
you're
this point.
good. Might as well end the podcast with a bang, right? And possibly a story about how Angel survived his blackout. Feel free to hop in, Angel.
I'm just going to assume he ripped off a rag and then just did the desert thing.
The desert thing. I'm moving down the list because this is taking way too long. Portal 2, there you go.
Hey.
Great fucking sequel.
Yeah, Tronup already talked about this one earlier. Levels feel a lot better. Introduce the co-op mode. Easter eggs
New
for
mechanics.
other games, new mechanics. Yeah, no, we don't have to stick to this one too long. We talked about this one already. This is great. I wonder what number 1 is. Does anyone want to try to guess what number 1 is?
I mean, my guess of what is it? Infamous being on this list hasn't shown up yet.
You think Infamous 2 is number 1? Okay.
I'm still upset Mass Effect 2 isn't higher on the list.
It's not, but given that, what do you think is number 1 on the DualShockers.com list?
It's your boy who survived being sick with food poisoning.
Oh my god.
Sick
Okay.
with food poisoning, ended a blackout.
Bro, what happened? Like,
Dude, fucking, and your boy's net died, and I decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just fucking and take care of myself and just fucking and deal with the fucking food poisoning that I've been dealing with like the past like day and a half.
Jesus. Did you just
Sure,
open a
Sounds like a series of unfortunate events.
Did you just pop open a soda?
No, that
Maybe.
was
That was me.
Oh, okay. No, you're
yeah,
good.
dude. I've been trying to rehydrate like this past couple of days.
That's good. Hydration is very good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because my God, I felt like shit the past couple of days.
Well, since you're just popping in on the inaugural episode of the Underscore is Silent podcast, would you like to tell everyone who you are and what the hell is wrong with you?
As you can see in the Discord view on the stream here, I am One Wing Arcade, and I am dying from food poisoning.
And Study is asking the question everyone wants to know: was it the McDonald's you had a few days ago? I already know the answer, but
Yes, it was the nuggets because they tasted kind of funky, and it only took like one or two of them to actually fucking fuck me up for the whole day.
see, here's the thing: when it tastes, see, this is what I had a problem with when you told me this. Why did you keep eating it? I would have spat it out.
Dude, I had literally two nuggets, Kyle. What part of like is like, oh, you know, the fucking, I just started eating them, and then maybe it was just like a weird, maybe it was just like one of them, like, because how some nuggets can taste weird if you don't have your fucking sauce on it or whatever. I ate the other one, and hoping, maybe it was just my imagination. So I ate the second one, and that's when I was like decided. I was like, nope, this has got to go. And then I wake up the next day. I feel fucking horrible. It is the worst I probably ever felt in years.
Why can I
wonder what's
actually
funny?
picture? Sorry, why can I actually picture Angel like taking a bite of the first nugget? It's like, huh, that's weird. And then watching him like slowly realize, oh wait, these are bad on the second.
Like I hadn't had food poisoning in like 2 years, so that shit really fucking sucked.
If you could go back in time, would you force yourself to throw up after eating the first one?
No, because I hate forcing myself to vomit.
That's fair.
But it would save you.
I don't know.
I need some sauce.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, is he like he's in the middle of eating it and swallowing? Is like, yeah, this nugget tastes weird. Continues to keep eating until the second one is done, rather than just get rid of it.
Yeah. It's funny because I also had McDonald's chicken nuggets like 2 days ago.
But like, would you guys have kept going, or would you have stopped after the first one?
I would have continued for at least one more.
Oh my
because
God.
sometimes you just get
You
one
you
bad
know,
one.
you know damn well you would have continued for at least one more guy. I don't want to hear it.
No, I'm really
I've
careful
done
about how
bones.
I eat.
No,
I've
you're not.
Yes, I am.
Have any of you ever gone like
Kyle,
bones?
you spent like $12 on a croissant sandwich before. I don't want to hear it.
What?
It didn't give me a stomach ache.
Yeah, but you still paid. You still
It
paid
was
too much
in
for a
Las
breakfast sandwich.
Vegas, okay? It was Las Vegas.
Go to a grocery store.
I was in the hotel room. It was whatever. This is
Take the elevator.
This is not
You don't even need to do stairs.
This is
Just
not
take
the Las
elevator.
Vegas Strip episode. Okay, we're not. Oh
Okay,
my
what's
God.
the last sequel?
How you doing, Paul? No, wait, no. We all need to guess. So we have Infamous. You guessed Infamous 2. Study. What is wrong with you, dude? I'm so careful with like what I eat. If I taste even something off, I will stop.
You're
like,
talking
So
to someone
you-
who. I eat strawberries that have started growing like
Shut
green
up.
stuff. I just
Shut
cut
up, shut
off
up.
the
La,
green
la,
No.
la,
stuff.
la, la,
Okay.
la, 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 la,
Hold
la,
on.
la,
What
la.
is wrong
They're
with
the
you?
sweetest you can get because they're basically just they're like so fruit that is like a little bit rotten is the sweetest tasting stuff I've ever had.
Oh God, Study agrees with you. Okay, sure. I don't.
See, if it were me, I'm just gonna briefly touch on the chicken nugget thing. If it were me, it depends on how strange it tasted. Like if it was clearly not normal, it's like, no, I'm not touching another one. If it's like, huh, that's weird.
I'm not
Like if it's barely noticeable, then I would eat another one.
Okay.
This
Okay.
food talks actually make me hungry.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Okay, real quick. Just to get this out of the way. Just really briefly. Angel. Do you have a favorite sequel and a least favorite sequel?
A favorite sequel and a least favorite sequel.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Mine was Modern Warfare 2. Least favorite was BioShock 2. Tronups was. Oh, what was
BioShock 2 is your least favorite sequel?
it? It is.
Wow.
Mhm.
Like I think BioShock 2 is probably the best out of the BioShock games. That's like that. I think BioShock 2 had more going for it than 1 did.
Was BioShock 2 your first game?
Guy was not happy with that answer.
Because I think because 2 improves on so much that the first did.
It does,
is-
but I just don't feel connected to the game story.
You're a monster
Yeah.
in man's skin.
And it just doesn't have that wow factor that BioShock 1 had.
Because if anything, if I want to say the worst sequel in the BioShock games, I would say Infinite. I don't like that game at all.
That's fair.
It's fair. It's very fair. I understand
It's
that.
got the smoothest combat.
But it has the smoothest combat, and I do like Olympia. No,
but it's very forgettable.
oh, what the hell is in it? No, it's not for me. No,
Its story is not that good.
That's not.
The DLC is what ties it together.
I wouldn't say forgettable. I would say not good, but I definitely remember it for how frustrated I was at the end of it.
Do you remember the museum part where you talk to an old dude?
Yes, I do actually.
Okay.
What about it?
I'm just feeling like that's the most forgettable part.
Oh my God.
My brain literally erases that from existence unless I've recently seen a playthrough of the game.
Okay, Tronup, what were yours again? Yours was Portal 2 was your favorite, and then
The Thief remake.
the Thief remake. Adam, I didn't ask you the question either. Do you have a favorite sequel and a least favorite sequel?
Least favorite would be Borderlands 3.
I'm playing that right now, and I understand, but I'm still having fun with it.
Oh, no,
gameplay's
the
fine,
gameplay's solid.
story is shit.
Gameplay, I'm I enjoy the gameplay. I hate the story so much.
I
the
just
DLCs have better story.
which I got the Humble
DLC.
Bundle with all the DLCs, and I'm still playing the base game. I just passed the part with what's his name? Thunderclap? No. I'm doing a side quest for Moxie about this really horny dude that runs a battle royale, and the prize is whoever wins gets to have sex
The
with him.
battle royale area.
Yeah, I forgot, but I just did that. And I was like, oh my god, Kilovolt? Yeah, this guy sucks.
You have not met. You're at the good part of the story.
Oh, still? Because Kilovolt
It's
was just
downhill.
annoying.
It's
I mean,
so
he's
far
optional.
down.
Yeah, he's optional. And then I did, what's her name? The blue-haired girl's side quest for coffee pissed me off too. Like,
You don't like Lorelai?
I like Lorelai until she makes me do things. But it just got annoying at some point. But anyway,
Yeah.
so Borderlands 3.
But yeah,
That's
that's
most likely.
my least favorite sequel.
Okay.
Favorite would be probably between Portal 2 and Mass Effect 2.
Okay, so not too dissimilar. Angel?
Well, if I had to go with favorite sequel, then it would very much be Metal Gear Solid 3.
Going from 2 to 3. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think Metal Gear Solid 2 is a bad game by any means. I love the games. Like, I love the Metal Gear Solid series so much. I just think that Metal Gear Solid 3 is such a great, like, it does a great job at building on the foundation that the first two Metal Gear Solid games created, and it kind of just goes like really, really hard with what they already established. Like, you already got. It's one thing to be like a stealth game, everything, but it does away with the typical like health recovery items and shit, because you have to do like surgery on yourself. You need to take into account that you can get sick, and the whole, and it was the first Metal Gear game to kind of go with an actual like, fully controllable camera, because it does away with the isometric view, which it gives you the option to use anyways, but it's just neat that that's there.
There was also the outside sections.
Yeah, and there's just and it's a great fucking prequel as well, considering the fact that you start off doing the Shadow Moses incident in Metal Gear Solid 1, then you have your sequel where you're playing as Raiden, and only to find out that it's like all a simulation and shit, and then 3 is just is a direct response to the reception that 2 had. And it was just a great way to kind of just like to pick the series back up on its feet, because everybody hated 2 when it came out, and now it's beloved.
I
feel like Rising Revengeance added to that.
That's more of a
everyone.
Yeah, I get that.
I like that game a lot.
That's a great game.
I feel like a lot of people hated Raiden until 4.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
And then Rising
Revengeance,
and then Rising Revengeance boosted Raiden more. And then people get into the series through the memes from Rising Revengeance.
Yeah.
And they get to 2 and go, "There's our boy.
There's our boy.
Yeah,
he's naked doing cartwheels." Just to go back on your points on why you like Metal Gear Solid 3 as a sequel to Metal Gear Solid 2. So you brought up things like about the non-traditional healing items. You brought up the new camera angle. Was there any other bullet point I might have missed?
It changes the controls a bit too, to be a bit more modern. It's what, like, if you played Metal Gear Solid 4, the way that game feels it feels that way because of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so 4 just built on top of that, but I feel like 3 is still like the best entry in the series.
Would you say that there is an emphasis on survival in Metal Gear Solid 3?
Absolutely, because
So why isn't Metal Gear Survive your game?
Because that game's only fun when you're playing it multiplayer.
Because I'm
And speaking of multiplayer, Metal Gear Solid 3 was the first Metal Gear game to have multiplayer.
On the PS2.
On the PS2. Yeah.
Yep.
I literally looked that up earlier. Were you here for that?
No, I was too busy not having internet and fucking just trying to stay hydrated because I have been sweating like every fucking like bit of sweat like out from my body. It has not been fun.
Okay.
What the hell is Godzilla Save the Earth?
Is that an online PS2 game too?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, that
Gran
sounds awesome.
Turismo 4.
That one I knew. Okay, real quick, because this has gone way past the amount of time I wanted it to. Least favorite, Angel.
My least favorite. God,
like which one? Okay, but name one that disappointed you greatly. Like one of the ones that most greatly.
Last of Us 2, honestly. Because Last of Us 1 is by far one of my favorite games of all time. Like, I genuinely fucking adore that game. And going from that game to its sequel, like, I was insanely, like, excited to revisit that world with those characters, only for the story to be laid out the way it is. It's just not good. Like, the pacing is really bad. The new characters that are introduced are really poorly written, and not enough is set out to flesh them out, and the motivations behind some of the characters are just not good at all whatsoever. It's just a mess all around, and I don't like it. And I don't even care of the fact that they killed off Joel in that game. I fucking think, like, because if it was going to happen, it was going to happen in the sequel. It's just a matter of how they went about it, and it just wasn't good at all.
I always go back and forth with The Last of Us 2 because on one hand I'm like, wow, this gameplay is actually pretty fine. Like,
yeah, the gameplay is solid. Like, it's it builds, like, it does a great job of building on the original game's like gameplay, but it's just not enough to save. It's just not enough to save it because everything else around it just is not good.
This will be my last point on that matter. Let me know what you think, but I always thought of The Last of Us 2's like writing and the way the plot flowed. I always thought of it of just like, oh, this is just how disappointing real life could be, and they're just really trying to hit on that aspect of, yeah, you know what, life is unpredictable. Fuck your characters. These people suck just like you.
Last of Us 2 was really just a stack of dominoes that kept fucking getting worse and worse, wasn't it?
It really was. Yeah. Mostly because fucking Neil Druckmann is like into some like torture porn and shit. Like the more you go through that game, the more and more you realize it's like, Jesus Christ, they really just decided like, how can we up the ante of like how fucked up the series can get?
Yeah, and then isn't like a thing where like 90% of the cast is just gone by the end of it?
Pretty much.
You're left with one character basically at the end of the, and then
it's just like it just spits in the face that,
and then she is
everything.
It definitely seems like she is very like emotionally destroyed because of everything being gone.
Mm-hmm.
Revenge bad. That is the story. Revenge bad.
The fact of the matter is, revenge bad. Stop giving revenge. Also shitty.
Like, I hate that whole like revenge like has to be bad thing. I mean, for God's sakes, like revenge doesn't always have to be bad. I mean, look at Kratos.
Yeah, and Revengeance.
Kratos had that happy fucking family, sort of.
Yeah, it
just required him killing everything.
Kratos has an entire video game franchise about like just getting revenge, and those games are beloved. So were they able to do the revenge trope with this game and have it be terrible?
Kratos never really wins.
Yeah, but even then though, it's just like at least those games still ended up good. At least people loved those games.
One, Last of Us 2 definitely suffers from this needs to be Hollywoodish.
Yeah,
we need to have stakes.
Okay,
they focused so much on trying to one up the first game that it completely forgot what they were setting out to do in the first place.
We need a lesson is definitely a very prominent point in Last of Us 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All points valid.
These are people you're killing.
All points valid. Would you say people hated it for the wrong reasons? Okay, because I'm gonna be honest, I hate the way the story was told. Right, I agree there. Like the whole back
Yeah.
and forth thing kind of just pissed me off. But I Abby's story could have been good.
It could have.
They should have frontlined it, from what I understand.
Yeah, I
If they're
think
going to say it, they should have said it first, so you actually got emotionally invested in the character before all the bad shit happens.
the thing is, I don't mind having a campaign where you're going back and forth between two like protagonists because it's not the first game to ever do that,
No, it's
and
not.
it can work.
Mhm.
But the problem with that is that you're immediately introduced to this character that was not relevant in any way at all in the first game. There was no mention of them at all. Uh, so like when the second game starts and you find out like who these characters are, or the game just automatically like the game expects you to care for these characters when there was literally no mention of them at all within the first game. And the Last of Us 2 starts at the end of the first game in a flashback sequence. So right off the bat, like they're kind of just shoving this new character in your face for its story to make sense.
I feel like there's a good example of a story that does that, but does it well. I just can't think of one right now. Like the idea of giving you a new character that later on that at first doesn't make any sense, but later on ties together to the whole thing. But I can't think of one right now. I'm sure
Yeah,
it
their
exists.
name is Roxas from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, okay. There we go. Damn.
Metal
Okay.
Gear Solid 3 with N4 with Johnny.
What the fuck is that? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 1 with Johnny.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
Moving on. Okay.
Also, I'm excited to get into the Yakuza series finally.
Yes, you are.
I was gonna ask you earlier today, Guile, but what should I start with first? Like, is it Kiwami 1 or 0?
0.
I'm gonna say 0, because and do you think most people say 0, Trona? Because
Yeah.
okay,
They definitely want you to go 0 than to Kiwami.
But that's
After
because
playing
so
Kiwami.
like because I know 0 is a prequel, and I want to know if there's like any like if there's anything that kind of like spoils stuff for
No.
me in 0.
no.
Because
No.
you know how like prequels are made and then like it like like stuff can happen in a prequel and it'll only make sense if you've like played something before
Nah.
that.
Nah.
Dude, 0
There's
was
a
my
lot of
first.
there's a lot of sub stories in 0 that tie to later games.
Yeah.
Like, unless you have that future knowledge, you won't get it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no, there's nothing that would spoil Kiwami.
And not to mention, like, I still think Yakuza 0 is the best game in the series. So it's
Really?
yeah, to me anyway. It's a great like way to tell whether or not you'll enjoy the other games in the series. Just don't play 1. Play Kiwami. Don't play 1. Unless you really want Mark Hamill in it.
Yeah, I have all of them like downloaded on my PlayStation now, so now like I can just go through all of them.
Since you brought up Yakuza, I'm just gonna put it out there. Yakuza 2 was much better than Yakuza 1. So much better. Yakuza 6 was disappointing. But that's just,
Yakuza 6 was really disappointing.
especially given what we know now of like new games coming out. But anyway.
Yakuza Dead Souls.
Oh well, I haven't played that one.
That
I can't say
exists.
shit. Okay, let's wrap this up. So Infamous 2 is Tronup's pick. Adam, did you say what game you thought was number 1 on this list?
It's not Portal 2 or Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, Mass Effect was already on the list.
Was Borderlands 2 on there?
No.
No.
I'll go Borderlands 2.
Okay, I put Modern Warfare 2, which was my choice earlier too. Angel, what do you think is the? We'll go through the rest of the list again real quick, just so you know. So this is DualShockers article top 10 best video game sequels written on September 8th, 2022. Number 10 was Resistance 2, 9 was Arkham City, 8 was Dark Souls, 7 was Melee, 6 was Mass Effect 2, 5 was Dead Space 2, 4 was Kingdom Hearts 2, 3 was Uncharted 2, and 2 was Portal 2. What is your pick for number 1?
You kept getting the fucking shit ad you were talking about.
Oh, did you see it? Because I didn't see it.
You kept scrolling, like all of them were it.
Yeah, there it is. Hold on, I see it.
It's like the drag and drop multi.
Jin is naughty. Jin is he's looking at an ass. That's what he's doing. What the fuck? It does just look like Jin.
That's movie Jin then.
It's just a generic like asset they use for those mobile game ads.
Oh my god.
You see him all the time
yours,
in
the choice.
So I'm looking at that same list that you're talking about, Guile.
Don't look at one.
Number one, I don't even have an opinion on.
Oh, you looked at it already? God damn it!
I don't have an
You were supposed to make a guess before we looked at the last one because I don't know what it is either.
There's not very many like sequels that I would go on to say that are like the best.
I'm looking at it. Psychonauts
What's better than Portal 2?
What? That makes sense.
I mean, that was
Psychonauts 2 is a very good game.
I've never played Psychonauts before, so
same.
That good?
I never played the first
better
one.
Than Portal 2 though.
Psychonauts 2, you can just go into without playing Psychonauts 1.
You can? Okay, I'll check it out. I'll install it on my INEO. I'm pretty sure it's on
I mean,
PC
you can play Psychonauts 1 too. It's a solid game.
Yeah, no,
I played it after playing 2.
But considering you said Portal, considering you really like Portal 2, would you agree that Psychonauts 2 as a sequel is a great sequel to Psychonauts 1?
Considering the time difference between the games, it should have been. Psychonauts 2 is a very good game. Like, it's just all around a very solid game. It makes a lot of changes from the first one, though. The first one has a lot of... definitely quality of life changes compared to the first one. The game itself is set like a day after the first game ends, even though it's like a difference of like 12 years between the two games.
That's kind of nuts.
There was also like a VR experience on the PlayStation that happened in between.
Yeah, because we all have VR headsets, right? Right, fellas?
I mean, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you.
My friends all own one.
Fuck your friends.
And then they updated to Windows 11, so nothing fucking works.
Oh, that's great. Ugh. Justice.
See, I've got the Quest 2, and I don't even have it right now. I let my brother borrow it.
Oh, does it have Resident Evil 4 on it?
No.
Damn it. Man, you had one job.
Before you gotta
I actually got to play RE4 VR when I went to go hang out with some friends on Saturday.
Oh yeah? How'd that go?
It was pretty alright. It handled pretty well, but I definitely could not stay in that for more than like 20 minutes though.
Man, imagine if you had food poisoning when you were doing that. Ooh.
Gosh, I would already like I would just like shit myself in the process.
Oh,
like
man.
that's how upset my stomach was. Like I was just out of it.
Man.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, even then, like I'm still kind of like queasy.
Jeez. All right, let's round this up. I got one more list here. Let's just go down it real quick. This one's on ScreenRant.com. In June 11th, 2022. Number 10, Silent Hill 2.
I've never played a single Silent Hill game.
I do hear 2 is better than 1, and sometimes better than 3.
It's a shame Zach's not here, but I'm surprised this wasn't in the other list, if I'm being honest. But
actually, yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, I actually started playing Silent Hill 1. I'm trying to educate myself. You know,
1 feels more atmospheric than 2 does.
You think so? I mean, man, those PS1 graphics really suck you into the fog.
It definitely.
You've been playing it on your Neo?
Yeah, I installed it on there. It looks great on the OLED screen.
Mhm.
Nice.
OLED good. Moving on, we've got number 9. Oh, see, this also wasn't on the other list. Halo 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were talking about the legendary mode earlier, Tron.
People who say Halo 2 is better than Halo 3 have not played Halo 2 on the Legendary.
Yeah, that is 100% what you said. Thoughts on Halo 2? The jump was big, I'd say, from 1 to 2.
The jump was definitely big, but I would still say like Halo 3 is probably the best out of the original sequels.
Do you think it
dual wielding very good? I liked it a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And then they nerfed it in 3.
Yeah, I feel like 3 was a great balance for like everything in the series. Like everything felt great. Everything felt like more fluid, and Forge was like
I really liked
amazing.
Halo 4.
Halo 4 exists, but nobody cares.
Conan O'Brien's in Halo 4.
That thing, and that's what upsets me too. Like, because I think Halo 4 I think Halo 4 is a pretty good game. I like that game a lot. I like its multiplayer a lot.
I mean, it was COD.
Yeah,
Halo 4's multiplayer was just COD.
Dude, people give Halo 4 so much shit because you were able to create weapon loadouts, and honestly, I think that's a stupid fucking criticism.
Wasn't that in Reach?
Yeah, it was in Reach as well, and nobody gave it shit.
I mean, the online. Okay, hear me out. 2 things. 1, I'm not complaining about Halo 4 being like that. I'm just stating that it was a lot more like COD because of that in its respawning mechanics. 2, Halo Reach, they were predetermined loadouts you could pick at the start of the match that everyone picked from the online.
Yeah, and there were still game modes that had that in Halo 4.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and that's the thing that makes me mad about people who shit on Halo 4. There, people complain that it was too much like COD because you were able to create loadouts, and because the sprinting wasn't an armor ability anymore, it was just a normal function. It's like what you expect to happen. It's just like Halo who needed to catch up because fucking and Call of Duty was like at its peak around the time. So
I'm going to be honest. Saying it needed to catch up is the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Dude, Halo fell off after Reach. I'm going to say that right now.
Halo fell off after 4 when it lost its identity as Halo.
No, I'm willing to say that like Reach was the last time anybody cared about Halo.
Yes.
No, that's exactly what he's saying. Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying.
What I'm saying is it fell off with Reach because nobody cared to even buy Halo 4 when it came out because everyone kept doing the whole like, oh, I don't want it to taint what Reach and Halo 3 left behind. It's just like, fucking, who cares? Just fucking, and you're gonna buy it anyway. Just fucking play it.
I feel like you guys are saying the same thing, just very differently.
Yeah. I noticed that too.
Right? Like you guys are literally
Reach
saying the
good,
same thing.
4 bad.
Yeah. Well, no, Angel still likes 4.
I think 4 is a good game. People just gave it too much shit for being too much like COD. It's like
my issue was it was during the console split generation, and that really fucked with it too. Like it was on 360 and Xbox One, wasn't it?
Hey, we're getting.
It was only on 360.
It was only on 360.
Oh, I thought it was on Xbox. Was it added to Master Chief?
It was added to Master Chief.
It was added to Master Chief Collection.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, we're getting off topic here. We're supposed to determine whether or not Halo 2 is like the best sequel in terms of like in Halo games. Was the jump from 1 to 2, for example, better than the jump from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, etc., etc.?
I say 2 to 3 was better.
You think 2 to 3 was better?
Yeah, I think 2 to 3 was a better jump.
Yeah.
Okay.
It had the armor abilities. It had the story.
Okay.
You finished the fight in 3.
That's true. That's true. It was the 4. Wait, did Halo 2 have Forge?
Downside. Halo 2 does not have that one song.
Forge.
Wait, what did? Sorry, what did Tronup say?
What's that one song in Halo 2? Was it No, what was it? It was not Centuries, was it?
Century? What?
Halo 2. Halo 2 has a really weird song by a fucking band that I don't know.
Are you talking about the Breaking Benjamin song that's in the game?
Yes, yes, I am.
Breaking
Yeah.
Benjamin has a song in Halo 2.
Yes.
Blow Me Away was made for Halo 2.
Yes, it is in one of the
It's one of
covenant
the final
missions.
missions, isn't it?
It's one of the missions you play as the Arbiter, and I think it's one of the final Arbiter missions.
If I remember right, it was made specifically for Halo 2.
Yeah, it was.
So wait, was that a good thing or a bad thing for you? I'm trying.
It's a good thing. I find it amazing.
It very much depends on how you look at it. Like I personally like it because I like the song, but I can definitely see why people wouldn't like it because it's also very out of place.
Very out of
It
place.
feels so mid 2000 shooter though.
It does. The thing is, so that's what's so great about it because like it's very out of place, but it also fits at the exact same time.
I think it's actually in the Master Chief collection if you're in the classic view.
It's in there regardless. It's there and it's great.
Hey, whatever that is, it probably fits better than the Chevy Tahoe in the Halo series.
Can we not talk about that show?
The Chevy Tahoe. No, we're not talking about the show. We're talking about the Chevy Tahoe. Screw the show. The Chevy Tahoe is everything about that series.
Yeah.
The Chevy Tahoe should have had its own show.
Exactly.
The Chevy Tahoe show.
The Chevy Tahoe. number 8 on the list. Resident Evil 2, the Resident Evil 2, the OG. Even though they're showing gameplay of the remake.
Like honestly, I personally think will say like as much as I because I haven't like played through the original Resident Evil myself, but I've seen so much of it that I already like that I practically like know that game already. But I think it's safe to say that Resident Evil started with 2, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Most people know Leon more than they know Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 2 was definitely more memorable than the first one.
Okay. I definitely.
Because thing is, I'm not saying one's a bad game, but like it's like, but if you want to like if you ask like somebody like what their favorite Resident Evil games, like it's always going to be the one with Leon in them.
It's either going to be 2, it's going to be 4.
I think 1 remake is still up there, but did you just say 6?
That was a joke.
Okay. I was gonna.
I mean, to be fair, Leon's campaign in 6 is the best campaign.
So
I just want to point out, there's people playing that game. I got people in Agent Hunt mode.
Really?
It was weird. I was waiting for my friend to set up the fucking game because it had them do the tutorial like 3 separate times.
Was it a full lobby?
Yeah, I actually ended up. There was another person doing Agent Hunt mode too. Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was more popping than I was expecting. I got at least 2 people. I invaded 2 separate people. It was amazing. They killed me instantly. The people playing this game, the people who have Agent Hunt mode on definitely are people with infinite fucking ammo.
Man, I'm so tempted to install Umbrella Corps on my Steam Deck just to have it.
Please don't.
Oh, hey, speaking of Steam Deck, guess who got theirs?
Oh, you got your Steam Deck?
Yeah.
Yo, buddy, let's go.
Oh, yeah, you can get a Steam Deck now in 1 and 2 weeks if you buy the $500 one with 200 gigabytes.
I think they brought back. Oh, was that the one you got?
The 251, yeah.
Oh,
256.
Okay, not the 512, yeah, but okay, cool. You have the same as I do then.
Yeah.
That's the one that they put on 1 to 2 week shipping notice.
Yeah, the middle one, which makes sense because some people either want the really expensive one or the really cheap one, not the awkward middle child. No one likes the awkward middle child.
To be fair, I wouldn't want the cheapest one just because the amount of space on it.
I mean, I've been running games off the micro SD. It's been working fine. So there's that. Real quick, what was the first game you tried out on it?
Nothing too intensive. I played Cult of the Lamb, and then I tried Origami.
Fucking coward.
I was on my. I was at my job at the time, man. I hadn't even downloaded shit.
Oh, okay, that's fair. But yeah, Resident Evil 2, good choice. I don't think 3 is as good of a jump from 2 to 3, definitely.
It was short.
Yeah.
Even the
was. Dude, like if you're gonna play Resident Evil 3, I would say just play the original. You get more out of it.
Yeah, I feel like it feels like an expansion of 2 more than it feels like its own standalone game.
Yeah, that's because like it kind of was in a way.
Yeah.
It reused some assets from 2, didn't it?
Yeah, because it also took place in Raccoon City because the game takes place before, during, and after 2.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Grand Theft Auto 5's 3 endings explained trending on Screen Rant? This game
3.
It's Screen Rant. That's why.
Oh, I guess so.
There was more than 3.
I thought there was only 3. Anyway, moving on.
There's 3 endings.
Okay, this one. I was looking for this one in the first list we read, Half-Life 2, and I feel like I'm the only one that can talk about it.
Probably because I've never played any of the Half-Life games.
No one? Anyone?
I played it a little.
Oh, you didn't finish it?
Yeah.
Okay. Half-Life 1 to Half-Life 2 was amazing. They fixed up there are some sections I'll admit are kind of dull, specifically ones where you're just walking, but when you get into everything, like using the source engine, doing the physics puzzles, great voice acting, and
gravity gun.
The gravity gun is great. There's just some really awesome like set pieces and fights there. It's definitely aged, but it's still a great game, especially going from Half-Life 1 original.
I mean, the source engine is so good.
I mean, never forget Titanfall 2 runs on a very heavily modified source engine.
I mean, Apex Legends does too.
I guess so. I don't know if they migrated, but point being, I love Half-Life 2. I'm actually playing through it again on the Steam Deck. And that's all I gotta say. No one else will talk to me about it. Everyone should play at least Half-Life 2. Or Half-Life 1 even.
Holy shit, Apex Legends runs on source.
There you go.
That's so weird.
But yeah, Half-Life 2 is great. Moving on. Portal 2, we already talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on. Number 5, Arkham City, already mentioned.
Uh-huh.
So we're getting into the crossover territory. Oh, here's one I was surprised not to see too. Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed 2 is a fantastic game.
Fantastic game. Like
Assassin's Creed 2 is my favorite Assassin's Creed game.
Me too, and I played 1.
Mine, honestly, my favorite is probably Revelations because it continues from where 2 left off, and it just gets even better from there.
I like Brotherhood more than Revelations, just because Revelations had a lot of
Brotherhood
mechanics that I didn't like in it.
Where 2 left off. Yeah,
I really liked Unity.
The Ezio saga was probably that was peak Assassin's Creed, and then it all just went downhill after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like the part where Jill got lost on the boat.
4
was
good,
wait.
But it wasn't the best. Are you talking about Resident Evil Revelations?
Oh my god. Kyle, please.
But real talk, I played Assassin's Creed, the original one on launch, and I liked it, but I wasn't completely into it because I thought Altair was boring as heck.
Altair was a very boring main character, but like, but I really appreciate the legacy that they gave him starting in 2, because it made me appreciate him more, and it made me want to go back and play the original Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is that I didn't have the original Assassin's Creed anymore, because when one of my older brothers had moved out, he took the first Assassin's Creed with him, so I couldn't play it.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting indeed.
Because it was his game, so like a lot of the games that like he owned, he took with him.
Was he gonna play it?
Like, no, it was just his game, so he ended up taking it.
Okay.
I had the Assassin's Creed DS game that was a prequel
Oh
to the
my
Assassin's Creed
god,
1.
me
There was an
too.
Assassin's
Okay, I
Creed DS
pirated it,
game?
but still,
Yep.
it was.
That doesn't surprise me.
It
That there was
was-
an Assassin's Creed DS.
My R button was broken, so I couldn't balance on the fucking.
Oh, the beams.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like a weird mix of a 3D 2D like a 3D 2D game. Like
It wanted you to pickpocket every once in a while.
Yeah.
And it wanted you to like sneak above people.
Yeah. But it was a nice way to play it on the go back in the day.
Man, I'm looking at the screenshots of this.
Yeah. It
This looks
I
weird.
think we can all agree though. At
It's
least it's not
definitely-
Black Ops on the DS.
Shut the fuck up. I played all of the Call of Duty games on the DS and they were fuck you. I liked them. Fuck you.
Well, someone had to like them.
I like how I'm complaining about Black Ops on the DS though, even though I played it on the Wii. So I can't say much more shit.
But at least that one was just a straight up like port, you know, not like a uniquely made thing for the DS, made by a completely separate company.
They only
Wait, it wasn't even made.
Was it not?
I don't know. That's the thing.
All
I was just so shocked when I first saw it. It's like, how does this exist?
Metal Gear Solid on the.
Who made this?
Was it 3DS?
Yes, it was on the 3DS.
Yes.
I've heard
I think
that.
it was on 3DS.
I heard that's actually a very faithful port.
It's
It is.
Yoshi's in it.
It's- Yeah.
Yeah,
Yoshi's.
Yoshi's in it, and you get to mess around with a 3D camera.
You know what, Angel? Tell me right now, were you a man and did you wear the crocodile helmet for the entire game like I did?
No, because I would always play the game just normally.
Damn.
I literally only.
Sorry, what game is this?
I mean,
Metal
I
Gear
played it.
Solid
normal.
3.
Yeah.
I did non-lethal, and I always wore the crocodile helmet.
All right.
I took it off to do stuff, but every other time that I could get away with it, I had it on.
All right, getting really late here, guys. Almost done. Mass Effect 2 already talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Uncharted Among Thieves is the second one, right?
Yep.
Okay, we already talked about. All right, final guesses. What's number one on this list?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Any other?
I'm gonna
Hello
say
Kitty
two-
Island Adventure.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
No, seriously. Give me a serious fucking answer.
Man, I don't know
It
because I
is.
like. Hey, yeah, Hello Kitty Island Adventure is peak gaming. What are you talking about?
You know what? I just now realized Street Fighter 2 from Street Fighter 1 is probably one of the biggest jumps just because they added actual combos on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what?
Oh,
Fuck
wait,
it.
no.
Street Fighter Turbo Edition. That's what's number one.
I'm gonna say Street Fighter 2, just because I can't think of an answer, and I kind of got blindsided by Hello Kitty, whatever adventure thing. Adam, what was your answer?
Street Fighter Turbo Edition.
Oh god damn it! Okay, I'm gonna say.
I'm kidding.
Tekken
Uh,
2.
Oh my god.
Was Tekken 1 that different?
Yeah. Well, yes. I would never go
Was
back to Tekken 1. All right, I'm moving. I'm gonna say what it is. Oh. Red Dead Redemption
No.
2.
This
I'm
list
waiting for
is
it to show up on the stream.
No. I disagree with
I'm
this
gonna
one
be-
wholeheartedly.
I'm going to say it right now. I think the Red Dead Redemption games are fucking terrible.
No,
I'm
it's Red
saying
Dead.
this right now. Red Dead Redemption 2 detracts from the first game.
It does.
The story is great. I will give it that.
That's pretty.
They literally took every action from the first game you did and added like 3 seconds to it while holding the button down.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound fun now, does it?
It's not.
They did all the animations, and apparently they reused some animations too.
Yeah,
They just made them take longer so that you could feel more immersed. Ugh.
Yeah. I genuinely think the Red Dead Redemption games are fucking terrible. I do not like those games at all. Like I remember when the first one came out, I tried playing it because I was a big fan of Red Dead Revolver, and I couldn't. I fucking hate Red Dead Redemption.
To be fair, that's going from a on-rails shooter, isn't it? It's like an on-rails.
It's like a third person like action like on rail shooter kind of like it was weird, but I enjoyed it a lot. I think Red Dead Revolver is a fantastic game, even by today's standards. A lot of people like to shit on it because of how old it is now, but I genuinely think Red Dead Revolver is the much better game out of the Red Dead series.
It's what's his face's son, isn't it? The main character for. No, wait, is Red Dead Revolver the main dude from Red Dead Redemption?
Isn't it just John
No.
Marston? It's
No,
I thought it was his son.
No. Red Dead Revolver has nothing to do with Red Dead Redemption.
Oh.
It's just part of the Red Dead like series.
Oh.
I just wanted to say that I do like Red Dead Redemption 1. I didn't finish it, but I enjoyed my time with it. I especially enjoyed Red Dead Undead Nightmare. I thought that game was awesome.
I never played it.
I think it's fun. I think you could play it in co-op too, but Red Dead Redemption 2 just looking at it just bores me for some reason compared to Red Dead 1.
And the issue is everyone fucking. It's the same issue I have with The Last of Us, where everyone just hypes it up, even though it doesn't look as exciting or good as it is being said as.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also not a big fan of like westerns really. So like Red Dead Redemption's like 1 and 2 are like immediately kind of like I'm immediately gonna like pass them out because I just don't care.
Mhm.
Like the reason why I liked Red Dead Revolver so much is because of how arcadey it felt.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, that said, everyone excited for Street Fighter 6?
Yep.
Yes.
I asked.
I am indifferent right now.
I asked this question earlier, and you weren't here. Both of you weren't here for it. But basically, the main point I wanted to make with this episode, like the main talking point was, do you think that in 1 year, Street Fighter 6's community and or like public reception will grow at a better rate than Overwatch 2 will after 1 year?
Absolutely.
You think so? You're positive?
Yeah, absolutely, because people are going to be too busy hating on Overwatch 2 because it changes so many things like right off the bat.
Okay.
And I personally don't think Overwatch 2's changes are changes for the worst, honestly. I think if anything it's for the better. I like my matches to not last forever like they did in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
And faster matches means faster queue times because I can just get in and get out with no problem. I haven't had an issue with queue time. People have started to say that they've had problems with queue times. I've never encountered it because I don't
Wow.
have to. I just don't run into it.
Well, that's
Like
good for you.
I have godlike RNG with the queue times apparently, but
Same.
It might be a PC versus other.
maybe. But I think Overwatch 2 it does a lot of things right from a gameplay standpoint. The way that a lot of the stuff is being handled, whether it's like the battle pass system or the or like how you have to unlock all the other characters because you didn't own Overwatch 1, I think that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't here for this, but there was another issue for Xbox users. If they got an achievement, it kicked them off
And put them back in queue.
That's weird.
So they'd
that's
have to
really
wait
weird.
again.
I'm pretty sure that's just a bug, but even then, it's weird that that's happening.
Yeah, it's still happening. Apparently, they haven't fixed it.
Apparently, the achievement is for playing with friends.
It's not just that achievement; it's any achievement you earn, even if you get play of the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you get an achievement, it just kicks you off.
That's fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the easiest one to get is play with your friends.
So, just to end it off now, we're all in agreement that it's more likely that Street Fighter 6 will be a more successful sequel than Overwatch 2.
Yes.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be more successful than Street Fighter 5.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like, but okay. So we agree that Street Fighter 5, that the jump from Street Fighter 5 to 6 is going to be a great, like a exceptionally big one. But what about the jump from Overwatch 1 to 2? Do we think it's going to fall? Do we think it's going to be stale and just stagnant? Or do we think it'll go up a little bit?
It's not really much of a jump like at all. Honestly, like there's not really much different in playing Overwatch 1 and 2. Like if you, especially if you've been playing like a certain role, you're more or less going to be playing the game the same way as you always have been. The only thing that I would say is a big jump is if you exclusively played tank, because that's just a completely different experience now because you don't have a second tank to accompany you.
I would do want to add, I feel like Overwatch 2 is going to be stale for the most part until, I want to say it's middle of next year or something like that, because that's when the PvE comes out, like the actual like story mode.
Yeah, see, that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most. I want to know what that's gonna be, and I hope it's good. Because while I like the events that they did in Overwatch 1, the PvE events, I enjoyed them. But let's face it, if this big PvE mode that they're talking about is just those again, or even just slight improvements over them, I don't know if I'll come back. They have to be really good. Like they have to be really, really good.
I mean, it's just gonna be story mode missions. Like it's not like it's gonna be anything big. Besides, like I don't
gotta
like
hold
I
out
don't
some
like,
hope at least.
Like I don't, because me personally, I don't give a shit for like whether like story mode shit comes out or not. Like I played Overwatch because I liked playing in the multiplayer. That's so like that's where I get my enjoyment from Overwatch. Do I think it should have had story mode from the beginning? Absolutely, but like when you look at Overwatch, like, people are not going to be playing that for its story mode. People are going to be playing it for its multiplayer because that's what it was designed around.
I wonder what Halo's Infinite's numbers are doing right now.
Probably not
Please
great.
Please don't talk about it.
Because I feel like Overwatch 2 may fall into the same fucking.
All right,
issue.
fuck it. Do we think Street Fighter 6?
Will.
Do we think Street Fighter 6 will be more successful than Halo Infinite?
Yeah,
it already is.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think that is a great end to the first episode of this podcast. Don't you? Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good.